most lane dominant champion. Good against a lot of the engaged supports because you can just get that free healing, but there's a bit of a debate if Jun does want to pull out the Bard. Not so great against the Aurora and Rakan, but really good.
I think it's good against Varus.
Well, pretty vulnerable to that tempered fate.
Not so good into
it
Bard.
buys a lot of time. You can always ult your own carries if they're getting engaged on. And
Not so good into Sion.
From top in the Sion with that range support. I'm really curious what they decide to do with this Rumble. You kind of feel like you need more setup, I feel like, for Team Heretics, and with Ambessa being banned out, there's not that much firepower in top lane, I'd say, into the Sion. So I would assume they're just going to put the Rumble top and give Sheo a Bruiser, but they really have a lot of options here. We'll see what they go for.
Oh, Nocturne locked in, and really I like it because when you take a look at this GX composition, it can be really good at fighting front to back. But Julia and the Varus are very
they need engage, and
Rakan
is good
there's a lot of
non-committal engage.
That makes sense, but I feel like it's very committal for a comp that's inherently very squishy. Heretics.
Anyways, you're never gonna get your frontline on support.
Composition is just harder to pull off because you need a great deal of
so if you see your comp and you're like, oh, we don't have a frontline, then picking frontline support is like fake frontline.
GX with the range in theory that they should have, the poke that they're gonna have available, things like the Bard to disengage.
I mean, Heretics, I understand that Hidden is their coach.
When you're cooking for your life, you just keep it simple.
Very coherent comps.
You don't need to go out there and start trying to sous vide or do whatever and start implementing all these new techniques.
They have a very clear win condition.
The flex is a flex. They were willing to put it back to the top lane. They brought the Nocturne to the jungle. But I agree, this is way more complicated. This is way more difficult in an elimination game. That's a lot of pressure to put on yourself.
I mean, it's a shotgun comp, right? Wasn't that what you called it, Betty? I mean, it's all in. If they kill Noah, and probably they need to kill Jackie's as well with all their ultimates, then it'll work out. And if they don't, they're going to have a real tough time going up the front line of Giant X. And I do have to agree with you, Betty. I think that the simplicity of this Giant X comp, they can both engage, but they can also choose to play it slow if they want to. Makes them have a lot more opportunities in this game.
Well, here we are, getting into the first game of the series.
Post on Twitter.
GX and Team Heretics both losing 0-2 in the first round. Now find themselves in the lower bracket. Loser will be eliminated here, but we talked about waiting for level 6s for the potential ulti combos. That's a late game thing. What are we looking at early game?
Well, we're looking at a level 1 invade, which has gone horribly wrong.
How did that stun? Shout out Bard Q. And shot it straight at him with no wall standing behind him.
Sheo now goes back into his jungle, a sad individual with 50% of his HP. So this probably won't affect Nocturne too much. Generally,
draft looks good for suits in this part. I usually favor the team that has a comp with more options.
Level 2 to do any sort of crazy invade. So at the end of
I
the
guess
day,
I would rather play Heretics
I've
draft.
been thinking more about this comp because like I'm very interested.
But if both teams
One thing I can say
are
with certainty
strong,
is
then
there's no Varus out there that's exciting.
GX, they can still play engage and disengage and front to back.
There has never been a Varus. Maybe top lane Varus at, you know,
at best.
At best.
But most of them are like, so hang on, let me just get this straight. I've got a Nocturne flying at me, and then a guaranteed Rumble ultimate on my head. And if those two things don't kill me, there's a Rakan there as well.
The Nocturne ult into the Aurora ult, you're literally playing 5-9 at Freddy's. You're just the rabbits coming out of the darkness and you're dead.
But all I can imagine is the comms from Noah is he breathes a deep sigh and he goes, I'm getting Sonya's third, guys. You guys probably won't, but it would be great.
Honestly,
I think you should definitely look for it. Like, like it's not bad. It's not
People
bad.
like the meme, but like Varus does use the AP pretty well. They obviously reworked every single AD champion to have some AP ratios for Ginsu's, but yeah, Varus, you know, not the worst. So we found the niche scenario where we get a Seeker at the very least onto Noah. But again, it's level 6. There's so much time. I think there's sometimes matchups against Nocturne where you're like, oh, well, the enemy jungler has to do something in the early game before Nocturne gets 6. He's playing its 5. It's just handshake, farm power hour, you know? Who can get a little bit of lane pressure? Well, right now it's Team Heretics, but not a whole lot else is happening.
Yeah, across the board in terms of early prio, top going slightly in favor of GX, but that bounce back, it doesn't really matter much. We can forget top for a while. Mid, Jackie's is the one that has...
I'm gonna go below.
But mid is the more interesting one, just because I think getting information on what the enemy jungler is doing is super important. And also contesting those early crabs is also something we need to keep track of. Because bear in mind, most junglers in the early see a path from top to bot. Sheo's path from bot to top. Isma probably assumes that because he doesn't actually have full information.
I
and
think
so this is why that mid prio is super important in this early game.
Are getting
okay.
Still got the crab. Okay.
And I think now Vi, just going to run straight to the bot river.
I think
It
Heretics
means
are getting first.
small tempo advantage to show.
A second Drake would be a fight.
And he can already start moving towards his bot side and start clearing those camps.
Some people are
But
level
aside
6.
from that, nothing too significant.
Well, that was all the action we're going to get for the next couple minutes. So hope you guys enjoyed that 5Q.
I'm glad. I need a breather.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
We were talking earlier, was it like Broken Blade had like the most damages dealt of any top laner ever? We might see least damage dealt from any jungler in the first 15 minutes of this game. We got one VIQ and that is it so far.
I mean, it's really level 6 that both of these team comps come alive. But I also wonder if it's a little bit, you know, the nerves, elimination game. You don't want to mess up the early game and ruin your game too early. But I do think once Sheo hits level 6 with the Aurora ult, that's when I'm starting to think that Team Redix has more firepower than Giant X. While you do have the Tali ult to move to side lanes, I think in a 3v3 and a 2v2, I'm really going to favor that Aurora Nocturne Rakan.
Really want to execute that first combo though. The early levels, the ulti from the Nocturne is just such a long cooldown. As we see, Jung cut out a little bit here, just trying to force the wave in. Ice and Sten there in time to catch. We have a TP down to the bottom lane from Noah.
Pretty decent CS lead from Team Redix. It's equal right now, but you can see the Ice has 4 or 5 minutes to clear out. And especially considering Giant X have Varus, who's a stronger early game champ than Jhin, and also they got the counter pick in the Bard. Pretty good early laning phase by Team Redix bot lane so far.
That it is.
Maybe I should also try the mid
one.
one.
They know that he's much closer to level 6 as you see Isma trying to catch up. Should tick over to 5 here on the Raptors. And again, a slow, calm waiting game. See, one of the things we were going to talk about was bot lane, but I think we just wait. We can save it. The analyst desk highlighted it so well. Bot lane is important, and right now they're not the center of attention. Instead, it's around the mid lane as a Vault Breaker out, the Fear. Jackie's retreating a bit here. Team Heretics not going to wait for level 6, going against expectations.
So I was keeping my eyes on the river just because of the crab respawn, and you'll notice that Krugs have respawned for both, but top is for Sheo and bot is for Isma. To completely forgo this, he's just going to start off the dragon. Sheo wants to contest this, doesn't want to give it over for free. Vi going to disengage. But the reason why that was important is because we talked so often about that 530 breakpoint, getting the upgraded smite, securing your camps, contesting that second respawn of the crab. And the fact that it's on the top side, you can see the pings now coming through from Heretics saying, I can do my Krugs into that bot crab. And I like this idea from Isma to basically say, okay, well, I know the crab is top side. I need to kill my Krugs. So you know what? I'll just start the dragon off. If he actually paths towards top, I'll get an uncontested dragon, easy peasy. Or I'm going to waste his time, because now he has to come contest the dragon. And look, he's already been able to go back to base, and Isma can now get back out onto the map a little bit ahead. And I wonder if he's even in a position to contest that crab. Pings are coming down.
Just now getting to mid wave. You can see Saren holding the mid lane wave, but that could bite him as he can't really get
going to
first
be here in time.
move.
No, my
Team Redix doesn't want to contest it.
I mean, credit to Jackie's. They managed to get the mid wave in. I'm not sure if Saren decided to freeze it, but gets there and is now in a neutral lane state as Isma starts the crab. So yeah, free crab, well played.
But yeah, this all comes back from that dragon sequence where by
Saren
Isma
is
starting it,
whole
forcing
way.
the Nocturne to come and deal, it meant that Isma could go to his Krugs, clear them, base, get back out on the map quicker, and ultimately he created a tempo advantage, allowing him to find that small skull of crab, and now he's going to get 6 first.
Yeah, I was a bit puzzled that Sheo didn't decide to contest him, but I think it was the item lead that you touched on there, Veddy, due to the fact that Isma got that base off while Sheo didn't. As the game returns to a state of normalcy, and we'll continue just pushing in minions.
Let's not call slow the normal state. Let's not do that. We don't want to set expectations that way. It's the calm before a storm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There's a deep fire burning inside both these teams. They're barely able to hold themselves back.
I mean, I think for this dragon, I could definitely see some fighting happening, especially since Sten will soon hit level 6, and then you have that full wombo
The fact that
combo.
no one's done Drake
I
yet
have a
makes me
feeling.
think it's going
Jack,
to
I
be
don't know
a
if you get
fight.
this feeling, but Veddy, I know you do. It's like spider sense for games where nothing is going to happen.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
tingling. I feel like 30-minute
Bro,
first blood. It feels like a 30-minute first blood kind of game.
youngin sitting over here being like, I reckon they'll contest the dragon. I'm like,
You would think that.
You would think that.
But when teams play a little scared on stage in the LEC, it often goes hand in hand
Or
with
are
really,
Heretics just giving
not bloody early games.
But also, like,
Yeah.
the awkward thing
Me
for Sheo
thinking
is that
about-
his camps keep bringing him topside. So he starts the clear
I
off
had a
block,
beef
pans up
bowl
towards
for
top.
lunch.
His bot lane gets prio, mid has control still, and Sheo's not in the vicinity.
We don't
to
like
trade.
that
So
bar skin. It's the
the more
T1,
likely thing
right?
is the dragon for grubs. That's very much
I think
what
the
I
portal
expect,
is the best one on
especially
that.
given that Rumble now comfortably getting that push in the top lane should enable
It's very
Sheo to
tasty.
secure these grubs pretty much uncontested. But we'll see if Isma has anything to say
It's a
about
bit
it. I
dry
expect him to
since
do the
I
dragon,
bought
then
it
move back
at
into his own
lunchtime.
jungle, clear that bot side, head on
Receive
over to
it.
those grubs, Sheo, and then it'll be that simple cross map. See that tingling right
Yeah,
there?
you're
There
right.
you go.
You're right.
Anti-conflict. They don't want anything to do with it.
action in the early game. I do think for the trade, before I felt like it was more favored towards the Grub team, but now, I don't know what happened, but Drakes just feel like they're the name of the game. So I'm liking this from Giant X, being able to pick up that first dragon and start the stacking, especially when it's a Chemtech Drake, so you know that it's not going to be the Chemtech Soul, and you'll most likely have a pretty damn good Soul.
This is just my take.
Yeah.
But doesn't it feel like that 6 grubs, well 5,
Yeah.
felt actually quite meaningful? Like it did a decent amount of damage.
I agree.
But 3,
Grubs for Drake.
It's
it
kinda
just
whatever.
doesn't. It just kind of, I don't know, they don't feel
It's like
the
a
same.
win more. It's like if you're already winning, it's good, but it doesn't swing the game in the same way.
Yeah.
Do you guys think it's just a bigger number?
Oh, fight.
Paranoia. And isolated by, immediately gonna flash. Okay, ulti for flash, but now Isma's
Sense
going
E
to
didn't
re-engaging.
go
There's a
all the
Weaver
way.
wall coming in. Ice just burned his 4-shot. Knockup coming in onto the Nocturne. This is not going to stun to the wall. My God!
So cute.
Flawless CC!
And Giant X are ready to back Isma up as he's able to take down Sheo with 4
That was a
ultimates being
little bit
burnt
messy.
there. And they take Sheo down. He doesn't have time to flash.
Clean.
And I believe Crab, did it go over to Isma as well?
Yeah, it was secured by Sheo actually.
Okay.
He got the smite and that was the cost, his life.
Yeah,
So
worked for
overall,
some rounders.
yeah, absolutely. The question I had was, why make this engage in the first place? Like, Nocturne is not going to stop a vibe here. And I felt like that it was super ambitious for them to try. The reality is that it's much easier for GX to collapse quicker. They only had their bot lane available. The Aurora can't collapse in the same way that the Taliyah can. And with the numbers advantage, GX find an easy pickup.
And this is something that you mentioned when we talked about these
Heretics
compositions.
play
Jackie
was
brought it up
super
as well.
messy.
Once you go in, you can't go out. So while it's nice in your head that, oh, you can trade your ulti for a flash, if you just got out scot-free, that's not a bad trade, right? It doesn't hurt too much. Unfortunately, Jackie's has a semi-global. He can re-engage. He can ensure that that trade continues. And at that point, all the major resources for Team Heretics were gone. Saren wasn't able to get involved. And losing that first Nocturnal, yeah, it's a really big deal.
I looked more to me like
How
Heretics
Team
is bad.
Heretics needs to play this team comp is more around Saren and having Ice be the supporting member. You could see that Ice in that fight was there and present, but that's not really how Jin wants to play as Sten.
Send. Waiting for someone to jump to. Does have Sheo there in the area.
Spellbook Talia.
Presence of mind from Sheo to make sure he could move down. Ward spots them out, and they know he's on Gromp, and now difficult for Ice to walk too far forward here. He's just going to take a bit of free poke.
Also, something we
That's
didn't touch
sus.
on earlier is Jackie's chose to go the unsealed spellbook on Taliyah. I'm not sure if I've ever seen this before, but curious to his thought process, just getting more summoner spells, but we'll see. Giant X still looking to contest
There's
this.
a knockup.
That is so annoying. Just as your base. Oh,
And the flash!
That is
Okay.
really annoying. I would be really annoyed right now if I was
Guys,
Ice.
I don't think he needed to fly. I think he could have just tanked that. He saw Taliyah move. Taliyah doesn't have ult.
You don't understand.
That's an
This is
insane
a do
bluff.
or die match.
I understand
If he
the
dies
pressure.
in game, he dies.
I'm saying good bluff, but I think Ice needs more ice in his veins in this case because there's no follow-up.
yeah. I mean, I'm quite surprised that
I don't watch
GX is
other
able to get so
regions.
much off the back of that. I mean, I have many thoughts right now. And
You can say that.
I'm trying to pick which one to articulate. The things that concern me right now. Okay, we can debate that this is actually both a pro and a con. The
Sure.
pro, Noah is fed. The con, it's the Varus. That's
true. Pro, Sheo has ulti and he's getting fights kicked off. The Aurora ulti is there, but the flick back does manage to hit. Saren's still able to get over the wall in time. Isma getting chunked out. Saren grabbing the first kill, gets the
Okay.
reset. Hops
Sorry, I was
between
fixing
worlds and
my foot.
able to escape. The Weirding will also poke him out. So there you go. There's the follow-up onto Isma after the previous play where they got the flash, evening things up.
Well, I mean, it's a good pick from Heretics. It's not going to convert into much. They got the Scuttle Crab. I wish that it like translated into more.
I
mean,
didn't
these
either.
are the respawn time for the next dragon
Trolling
spawn in
me.
40 seconds.
Then the question is, both sides, they decide to use the Varus ult and the Vi ult versus Nocturne and Aurora ult. And both of them will be down for the Drake spawn.
That's true, yeah.
So I would say that probably favors the Vi Varus.
The team, the not Nocturne.
You're really not sure, are you?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I mean, both teams are so ult reliant.
Yeah.
It's rare that you see these kind of team comps that are so similar go up against each other.
I mean, I do think it favors GX, mainly because of the poke.
Yeah.
They have tools even without their ults in that they have Taliyah and they have Varus. And this Varus is fed. the fact is, he's already completed his Ghost Blades. When setting up around an objective like this, if the Nocturne doesn't have ulti, there's not really a lot that you're afraid of. And so GX, they're just going to start this one off.
Yep.
How much it costs to rent an apartment in Korea per month? It's pretty expensive.
Distorted pathing to Isma is clearing his top camps while Isma was
The
bot
cheapest
side.
option you have is to
Get
get an Airbnb.
We'll see the soul is a cloud soul, really valuable this game to buy space against
Which
both
is
of these
probably
full
still gonna be
engage
like
blocks.
2k.
I do wonder if we go all the way back to level 1, if the plan from Sheo was to actually create a split map.
Yeah.
And try and invade on the bot
Like
side.
the absolutely
'Cause if he'd
cheapest you can
succeeded,
get is
how different this game could have looked. How
yeah,
if
well,
he'd been
the
able
type
to
of
take all those
room I'm
bot
staying
camps
at.
away from Isma,
But I
assuming that was
only
even
have
his
single
plan,
rooms,
because we've
so
talked extensively in the early game how him constantly having to path to top due to his spawn rotation has had a pretty significant impact on his ability to both cover and impact early game objectives on the bot side of the map. Regardless, 1 minute now until the Herald. This will be a big point of contention, I have to feel, for Heretics in particular, because
yeah, of
while
course,
GX don't
if
have
you're
a
not
meaningful
in
golden lead out
solar
now,
zone, it's gonna be
they are
cheaper.
in a position of power. They've gotten their Varus to a comfortable spot. No Nocturne ultimates have been thrown onto this Varus as of yet. He hasn't really been put under any pressure. Same can be said for Jackie's. So both these champions have kind of had a free, comfortable early laning phase. And I think Heretics need to try and get something off the back of this comp around this neutral.
And this is a good position for them to do it in. Cheo's not quite level 11, but he does have the Hexblade. Both him and Saren have access to the Flash. Noah is now using the TP. Move up. Be a little bit more present around this objective contest, but they really have all
Korea
of the tools.
has
Noah doesn't
cameras
have a full completed item in
everywhere.
advantage. This should be the best window of opportunity Heretics
And
can
their
get
laws
for at
are
least the
very
next few
strict.
minutes.
But the tough part about this Team Heretics comp is they don't have the front line to just take space.
Yep.
If they're going to take the space, it needs to be an instant fight. And you see how Giant X are using that to just constantly take full space and full prio of River. And you see Jun is not scared. He knows that if you guys go on me, you have to full send it, in which case I'll just portal out. And that's Isma starting the Herald.
If the series is quick, I might
he's still ways away from it.
stream
Gonna have
first
to commit
game.
that level 1 ulti. The Herald's going down though.
2.7, 1.4.
Well,
They've
I
already
think we
smited
have
it away. Team Heretics seem like they still might want to force a fight. And
They
that's
have scrapped
frustrating. I
that
think
and
they know
left.
that was their window of opportunity, that they needed to force a fight, but the Herald went down so fast that it just disappeared in the blink of an
Trace
eye.
even
That's so
started
hard. If they
rotating.
don't get that good opportunity, there's nothing to go for. They can't go for the first target, because if they do, they're already fully committed, and it's going to be bad for them because Giant X can be the one to just run them down. So they really need to find either Jackie's or Noah caught
It's rough. I don't-
offside, and then they can look to run them down and start the fight that way.
Varus
because
is not a
otherwise
great
they just don't have
target.
damage.
I mean, we're seeing the challenges that come with the Heritage composition.
And Tali
On
is
paper, it
also
seems
not
like
a great
nice idea,
target.
right? Your ability to basically neutralize what is,
So
I
they're
guess
not
you could
gonna
describe as a
fix
2 damage threat.
not very
Obviously,
high
Vi does
value.
her fair share of damage, but when you look at Talia Varus, that's where the bulk of your DPS is going to be coming from in the fight. And so when you have so many damage threats, threatening that backline, in theory making it impossible for them to play, is a nice idea. But GX are taking advantage of all of the
Very
weaknesses
helpful,
of this
yeah.
Heretics composition in that, number one, once they commit, they have to hard commit. So if we just play the fight slow, we can get them better on the re-engage. And the fact that they can easier
But no
leverage
one
their pushing
asked.
lanes, because it's so difficult for Heretics to, as Jack was saying, reclaim the space that has already been taken.
Well, and I think what makes it worse is we talked earlier about the Summoner Spellbook. We've got an Exhaust on Jackie's, as well as Seraph's, and now the additional Magic Shield coming through. He's pretty impossible to kill. In that 3 to 4 seconds where you want to one-shot someone, he just exhausts whatever your biggest damage threat is. And right now it's not clear, right? A lot of people on 1.5 items, but it gets much easier to make that decision as you move later in the game. And it doesn't get easier for Team Heretics to find this angle.
The good news is, Ice, he's going to be
back.
bounced away, but the tower will fall. The good news is that Heretics do always have that win condition of if they successfully fire the shotgun,
This
they
game's
will
super
find a way
fun.
to swing this game. But so far, GX has not given
That's
them an
so
opportunity
flash.
to aim and shoot.
And I want to highlight what you said about Jackie's straight.
I've been seeing more and more Hextech Proto Belt Aurora. I don't know why.
To that exhaust, to be able to exhaust whoever goes first, if it's Trace and Shea or Saren. And
Or
it's
barrier as well.
barrier as well.
heal.
Yeah, he does have a lot of good options to help his team out. And we also see Proto Belt on Saren, which is quite interesting. I mean, it's a very cheap item. I know Chobi's been building it, and that's kind of made everybody.
It's exactly that. We basically
I don't
Chobi's
think
been
anyone wants to
buying
stay in a
Proto
hotel
Belt on
for a
bunch
month,
of champs.
unless it's one of
I mean,
those
we saw it
apartment
on
hotels.
Azir yesterday.
Yeah.
from,
And there is one of
from
those
Jojo.
Yep.
in
And so it does seem
Insatong,
like that
I think.
similar to
In
when we
Insatong
saw
Suites.
Chovy building Rallies last year.
There's like a kitchen.
Okay,
That's a
in
great
those
idea.
rooms.
I like it though
But,
because it's
yeah,
universally
price
accepted,
is
right?
like
If Chovy built, we don't need to provide any more analysis.
third
We're
or
like, guys, Chovy
double.
built it. And they're like, ah, cool.
more.
We trust that guy. Seems to know his way around mid lane.
I feel like we were using it more as a critique. Like the pros are not thinking like that.
No, I'm not gonna.
No,
Please,
sorry.
please. What's the
Explain
better
to us
option?
how
Do
Chovy-
the math,
Tell us
Jack.
how Chovy's
Do the
wrong.
math, Jack.
Yeah, go on. You
Go
tell
on.
us.
Tell us.
No.
This guy, Youngin, again.
Hold on, guys.
Drake's fine.
Jack Spector's gonna tell us he's smarter than Chovy, guys. Hold on. It's happening. All right, third Drake is here. Another advantage for GX, obviously, when they set up.
All right, here we go.
Take their sweet time.
Come on, Heretics, show us
Yeah,
that
I think it's
shotgun.
pretty nice to have a
All
good
five
third
ultis
room.
on the table for Team Heretics.
If you're
7 seconds
traveling.
to tell GX to get access to 2 of theirs. Ice off to
Here
the
we
side.
go.
Paranoia coming down. Sten going over the wall. Immediate charm going to come through.
At
The
least
curtain
as
call
a
as well.
kid,
Isma
I
deleted
really
fights. The
liked
fight kicks
when
off.
the
Third Drake
drones
should be
were
there, but
good.
now Sten is giving his life. Noah still
Now
in
if you're
front
not
for a
gonna
moment.
be there
One
anyways.
sidesteps the 4th shot. Exhaust down onto
Should at
Shale.
least be
Temper
clean.
fade onto 2. Lot waiting for the setup to flip back. Not quite in time, but the
What the
third Drake
caster's
still
talking
manages
about,
to
I
go
have
to
no
GX.
idea, man.
Now they're on the retreat. Overall, a pretty close fight, but the Drake belongs to the Giants.
The smite came down a little too early for
GS
Shale,
has
allowing
first
for
3
Jack
Drakes.
to actually steal that one away amidst the chaos. I like the target selection from Heretics. Remove the jungler, remove the smite, but the fight doesn't quite go the way they want.
I mean, the shotgun came out here and they were able to one-shot Isma without him even being able to use his ultimate. But then, I think it's some of the missed bullets from Ice here. He hits one onto Sion, and then Noah flashes the second, and then the 4 misses as well. I think if one of those hits
Who's
either Jhin or Noah,
realistically
this fight could have
killing
gone differently.
Sion
But they just
on
don't have the
Heretics
damage to kill
roster?
Lot on this Sion.
They
After
have
they've used all their
Jhin,
ultimates,
they
and
have
Giant X force and flashes
Aurora
and force
with
them away.
Did I say
damage
Dragon go down to
build,
1 HP?
which
Was
yeah,
that
is
literally
correct.
1?
Uh,
Oh, God.
Nocturne's not gonna
That's,
kill Sion.
yeah, that's a little bit rough.
Rumble.
Oh my God, some of these are savage. That's ruthless. All right, well, sole point for GX, exactly where they
And
want to
people
be. They
pick
have
tanks into
beautifully
Rumble for a
survived,
reason, right?
Shotgun so far. Isma's died twice, but again, not the key
I don't
damage
think-
dealer. He does have 2 items.
And
don't
no
get me
one
wrong,
will
but
kill Sion.
Jackies and Noah are allowed to play out these
Look
extended
this
fights.
full combo from Aurora. It's
Not
gonna
looking
do
super
damage.
hot, especially as Ice still probably now will have
He's
the
not even
IE
doing
at the
it.
very least.
He
but
knows.
he's not killing Lot with that Infinity Edge.
Definitely not. He needs that LDR, but probably he will look to go rapid fire third, just for that added range. It's very common on Jhin to do, and that means that it delays his armor pen by quite a bit. And Saren as well on this Aurora, not doing a whole lot of damage to the front line, so it makes it a really easy game for Lot to buy space and buy time. And
Yeah,
really
it's
all on
good,
Noah and
but
Jackies to make sure that they
tanks
don't
are
get
also
one-shot. That's also why Noah
neutralizers.
decided to go for the Edge of Night, and Jackies went for the Seraphs to just have more survivability, as Giant X are looking for a top lane.
Power shutdown, timing. They're waiting on the flick as long as possible. Wave getting deleted by the equalizer, but Tracy's getting deleted even
Yeah, but in
faster.
a
The
team
ball
fight, is
won't be
Rumble
there 'cause of the
gonna
rumble off with the kill. Still going
do
to GX.
full bar of health on
I mean, it's a
Sion?
clean dive,
I
but
don't think
they've committed
so.
5 people, which allows for Heretics to cross map. You can see the Nocturne pushing down the mid lane tower. Same can be said in the bottom lane, where Saren is trying to do what damage he can. The question is, can GX actually secure that top tower? Will this bot one be locked in? It looks like the bot one's going to get locked in first. Yeah, so first tower advantage ends up going over to Heretics. The
5
gold
people.
overall remains even. Most of the gold advantage was sitting on Trace, and after that death, it will equalize that top gap a little bit more. Ultimately, the gold is very even, but it does feel, based on how the comps are playing, that GX are the ones in control of this game, especially given that Soul is 2 minutes away.
Yeah, and we've already seen Jun pick up McHale's luxury item for sure, but it looks like a locket is on the way as well, just to shut down even
Rumble
more
is
of that
losing
AoE
gold.
burst. So the Isma, probably
So,
a
yeah.
person, this is the other struggle, is in a dragon fight.
If they're able
If
to. They
GX
didn't
are
give
from
me
some
turret
objective,
either.
You probably want to try and kill Isma to take away the smite, but if you do, you probably lose the ensuing fight.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in. That's why those 3 dragons are doing a lot of heavy lifting right now for Giant X. As maybe they can look for a pick
Oh,
here
the
on mid
streak
lane.
is so OP too.
Ulti going in, immediate charm, perfectly will set up CC, shut down on a Noah. Now GX maybe looking to convert on a follow-up fight because Cheo's going to trade his life for that pick. Saren throwing down
They
an
actually
ulti, the
managed
zone
to kill
tempered fate
someone.
onto Ice. Q coming
Just
through,
had to
misses,
send
timing not quite right, but Ice gonna
everything.
go down all the same. GX taking 2 in return.
And that's the shotgun comp. You kill one, but you don't have any more damage after that. They take down Noah, but you see there's just no
I
fuel
think
left at the
Lux
tank.
would have been the pick.
Sheo and Ice both end up falling, and it's starting to feel dire for Team Heretics in this game.
I like that GX turned it into a fight. they didn't just let their AD carry die and then say maybe we can trade something else. They actually brought the fight to Heretics, knowing,
yeah,
hey,
then they can one-shot without committing.
Yes, our AD carry falls, but let's actually look for the re-engage. And if you look at the minimap, you can see pings mid, GX desperately trying to get to their mid lane as quickly as possible. They turn their attention onto Sheo. They know he's got no way out. And then the Bard ultimate from Jun to set up for the follow-up, along with the Talia to be able to collapse. GX create that numbers advantage and turn the fight in their favor.
This is the Jun Bard that I know and love. I mean, he's having a really good game here, and it's so easy for him to play now, especially with Ice still not having flash for the soul fight. I'm looking at Jun and see if he can get another Bard ult just like that.
Setup is there. Control as well as they push their vision line steadily forward. Lot in the mid lane, just ensuring the push, and you can see in the previous fight how much space Lock can create. No one can really walk through him. Saren and Ice were alive in that fight, but just don't have the damage. They've built to kill squishy targets, so need to find the right angles to make sure they're hitting the appropriate members, as GX have set up, hoping for 4 people to wander into this particular brush, although that happens very rarely.
GX has full setup.
I really like what Giant X are doing. They're matching Team Heretics. They know that Team Heretics can't play through mid. They don't have a tower there. So they're just sitting in the bush, trying to poke them out, trying to make their life miserable.
It's
as
impossible.
Team Heretics are trying to enter, you see Sten
Aurora has a flank, but...
And they do have a flank, but disengage, it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
But GX go first. Now he's trying to
Good luck engaging on no vision.
Which is right where GX wanted to go. The Drake is going to fall. It'll take a miracle. The equalizer's not in range. That's soul for GX.
Why did I predict 2-1? It's gonna be 2-0.
Alongside Jack, he's going to pick up the follow-up kill.
Excellent control from GX. They make
maybe
sure that Heretics have no means of accessing the river through the bot lane. They cover for the flank, spotting out the Nocturne with a good control ward. The Varus ultimate connects, and it's just smooth sailing from there.
I mean, an absolute masterclass of just showing why having control of an objective is so pivotal. And we see that Team Heretics team comp, they don't have what it takes if they get split up like that. Sheo doesn't have a good target to go on. Giant X, they get the Soul, they get the Nash. Game is starting to feel very much in Giant X hands.
That it is. The curtain call here. Lot there to body block though. Sheo
Keen into Sion, kick W.
Another objective goes over to Jackie's. I think he had smite this time though, as I see his flash very rapidly refreshing.
We'll look back at the play, and again, that control ward just offering so much value. Noah's ultimate connects, the spell shield doesn't come through in time, and while he does ult to try and get to safety, it's a desperate play.
I mean, I think a lot of people, they will look to criticize Sheo from there, but you have to think of it from his POV. It's easy as the spectators. We can see what HP the Dragon is on, but he's working with no intel, no info, so he knows that they're going to do the soul at any moment. Now I need to walk up, but if he does, he dies, and if he doesn't, they get the soul. It's a lose-lose situation for him, and it's why it's so difficult to play this game.
Noxing just looped in there, doesn't really have to fish it.
Flash out, Ecology going a little bit wide, the fear is still
This
there,
is
but the
desperate.
comes in clutch and Sheo goes down, Noah's still living.
Not like he has a choice, I think it was the right play to try.
Get the lock up on a Trace, and the follow-up CC is there. Another kill to the side of GX, and this might just be the victory march.
I mean, you'd think that bringing a shotgun to a bow and arrow fight would work in your favor, but the man's empowered by the Darkin, and it looks like that they're hunted for more.
That's more than enough as Saren trying to get tricky with it. Will move out, just barely dodge the Unraveled Earth as he goes back in onto Jackie's. Overall, though, GX...
They're so fast!
They're
just
just
moving straight from the glass hole. They're just running around and running loops around Team Heretics as they pick up this mid tower. They can look to convert it into top as well and just continue their relentless siege.
And gentlemen, we're running out of silver lining. Jun didn't even stop for a locket. He went for the Bandle pipes. Doesn't even need the locket.
It's a situation where I think Heretics had a promising baseline with the...
Well. Are all the games just gonna be 2-0s in playoffs? Is that how it's gonna be?
The way that I see this is once you've got the Varus locked in, your intention is very much to have that lockdown to make it very difficult for the Varus to play. But by removing it and by choosing to go for the Aurora earlier so they could have a good matchup in mids, I think that it ultimately didn't work out in their favor. The Aurora was never able to get prio, and quite frankly is often outranged against the Talia. The Nocturne is so committal that I think GX had all the tools in the world to deal with it, and they played around it appropriately. And Heretics are facing the consequences of their draft, so I think in Game 2 they really need to adjust and, quite frankly, simplify their approach, because right now GX is just playing the map but have played the other game much better than their opponents.
I think the way you can think about their first 3 picks, this Jhin, Rumble, and the Aurora, is they're all very non-committal. Like, the nice part about the Jhin Rumble combo is you just both start ulting and you can run them down that way. And same with the Aurora. Like, yeah, she goes in, but she has so much mobility
very
that she
limited
can kind of do
wave
whatever she wants. But then you end up locking in this Nocturne Rakan,
and the
and then your
battle
comp kind of
mage on
shifts.
Citrus.
Now it's not a comp that can
Against
play
Nash.
slow anymore. It's a comp that can only go forward and only do it all at once, or it's nothing. So
Yeah,
Ulti's
Heretics
going
comp
all at
works
once,
in
as predicted. Ulti set up beautifully, but now they've got a side
lower
on there.
tier.
To flick back. Noah now on a rampage.
where people
Noah's
make
still
more
alive,
mistakes
as is
and
Jackie's.
I mean, the peel
games
from
are
June,
more
you
messy.
can see how hard they counter that. It's the
Clash
whole time
as
for
comp,
Team Red.
yeah.
Giant X are playing how they should, and they're making it so difficult for Team Red X to try to kill any of these carries. As Saren
tries to get the combo through the stealth, but it won't come through.
in tier 1,
I think if you had ulti there, that
this
could have
comp
been a
is
miracle
just
play,
too
but I mean, he doesn't have it.
This is a
one-dimensional.
wallet diff play. Look at those health bars.
One-dimensional
They're a little
comps
bit closer overall. They have enough extra
that
damage
aren't
to
front to
finish
back
those kills,
based.
despite the fact that Jun did a good job of body blocking as
Always
did
lose
Lot.
in tier
So
1.
frustrating for Team Heretics when they finally find an angle that looks good. It's just too late. The deficit's just too big.
And it's funny, we talked about Noah needing to buy Zonius, but he doesn't really need to buy it if June just ults him every fight.
That's
and then you
true.
have Zonius on Jackie's as well, and then it's like, who is Team Reddit's gonna go on?
Now, I don't know how valuable this is for Noah, but fun fact, when you press the R on Nocturne, it will pop that Knight's Edge, which means that Noah in the fight won't be blind, which I don't know how helpful that is.
It's really helpful for Jun if he
Uh-oh.
wants to lean over and check the PC. That much is for sure. As Stend is dead.
Uh-oh.
No. The follow-up kill might be here as well. The flip back not
GG.
quite perfectly timed, but it does not matter. Double kill there as Isma's able to get one in return, and now Lot does not care about the tower damage whatsoever as the Weaver wall is coming down. Ice running for the hills. The flick will land. The Rylai's ensuring that it does. Ulti coming out from Saren, but he can't get to the wall in time. No, yes, he can! Just barely. Jun wants to finish the kill, and GX wants to finish the game. It's Noah who is unstoppable on
next
this
to,
bar.
yeah,
6-1 and 6, an entire composition that was supposed to headshot him, that was supposed to find him, put a bounty on his head and take him down, but he only dropped once in the entire game. GX steady and controlled from start to finish, punishing Team Heretics as they close out, or maybe not.
I think they're gonna end the game.
I
mean, it was
so.
a nervous, it felt like a nervous, tense early game, but after that, Giant X just broke through, and it was domination with the Drake stacking, with the team fights all going in their favor as they're picking up some kills at the finish line.
What's the
Team Red
stone?
does a heroic base defense here. I mean, Ice would need to get another pentakill for them to really get out of this one. He is spawning, but
Nexus exposed,
the
surely the
HP
game
bars are
ends.
too.
The games get harder, get harder.
Yeah, he does. Oh, no.
Okay, let's see next game. If you're
There you
right
go.
about that.
It took a little bit, took a minute there at the end for them to close it, but that was, they just didn't do
Let's
too much
see.
damage to the towers. GX, really dominant start. We talked about the composition, very straightforward, lot of utility, looking good.
You know,
Looks like Shox
at
standing
home,
by with the victorious Jackies. Let's
if
see
I
what
watch
he
it
has.
to see without
Series not over yet,
co-streaming,
I know, guys, but I needed to
I
ask
actually
about this
fall
unsealed
asleep.
Spellbook Talia tech.
Well, I feel like
So-
it's mega OP into Nocturne and Aurora when they go in, you know? But then they never went on me, and I think I had fresh cleanse the whole game, and I
These
couldn't
games
stop
are
it. It was
so
kinda cringe.
You had exhaust,
uninteresting.
I saw it.
Yeah, I had exhaust for like 20 minutes of the game. And then
I
in one
get
fight, I was
tired.
completely over, I
Like,
just
I'm
used it for
tired
fun,
now.
So I can finally get rid of it. But I think it also made them not ult me at all in the game, so I think it's, yeah, it's OP.
Yeah, it was nice. Was it hard not to chrono break on Talia?
Actually, no. I don't know how Jojo does it. I don't know how he does it. It's actually impressive, honestly. So.
Thank you so much. Good luck on game 2. And they never showed up on the Dragons, apparently, or never in time, Odo. What was up with that?
I'm
Yeah, it
going
was
to
crazy.
the
I want to
bathroom.
see how GX managed to do this
I
crazy
have to
setup at
piss.
Drake
Goodbye.
number 4 because they pretty much showcased exactly how to deal with this sort of really annoying, you know, flanking shotgun kind of team comp. So if you can bring out the clip, that would be great because patience rewarded them extremely well. So as you can see, Drake is up right now. But what GX is doing is they're playing it very slow. They're pushing this and using Fog of War very well. If we can roll the clip right now. All they need to do is just be stacked up together. They should not break this formation. And what they're doing is they're playing with Vi solo on Drake. While right now, everyone else on GX side is just making as much space as possible. Jackie's is on the top side, pretty much zoning all the access points that Team Heretics has. And this team comp only works well when they're all together, when they get to pull the trigger first. But GX never really gave them an opportunity because they blocked everything. And once you manage to split Team Heretics' team comp up, then you just have a mosh pit on the side of GX. So after this, it was incredibly hard for Team Heretics to climb back into this game. But Dagda, how did they get over here?
It was unplayable.
Yeah,
it was unplayable.
It was all a bit of a mess. And I do agree. Like, I think we saw lots of moments where for Heretics, they could have gone for cross maps. They could have tried to look for other avenues, but it never really came together for them. And I do think partly, like, I like the way Giant X played the early game. Like, they kind of sidelined control of that bottom side with the buy, made it difficult then for Heretics to really connect with their bottom lane. We saw a bunch of, like, trying to zone away on that bottom side, making sure Ice couldn't get the CS. And I think that is the game plan a lot of teams are looking at for Heretics.
I'm sorry. Can you tilt the camera, like, up to those guys who are trying to wave at the camera the whole time in the top row? Higher. The jib, can it go up?
No, it's not allowed. No fun here.
Listening.
This is serious League of Legends. How dare you?
Okay, well, nobody's listening. It was funny because he did one of those. Yeah!
Is it the Queen's wave? Is that what it was?
Yeah. But he was doing that one and then it didn't go on screen. He went like...
oh.
So I see you. That was sick. Sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you. But okay, yeah.
Just say you hate me. Actually,
Heretics, or rather on the side of
just
GX,
tell me you hate
everyone
me.
might say it's just a boring, slow game. They're not doing anything, but that's exactly what they need to do. They need to not do anything. If the onus was on Team Heretics to pull a page out of MKOI's book, because what we saw yesterday from MKOI, for
and
example,
to come up
was
with
they kept attacking
some
people
answers
in
to
the
my
mid game.
homework.
They look for Nocturne ults because that's where your team comp that's what your team comp needs. Rather, you need to get a goal lead in the early mid game so that when you rock up to these objectives, you have some sort of
they're so
firepower.
difficult.
But instead, it really felt like they're just rocking up to no objective.
Oh my
They're being
course.
slow. They're not even there in time, and then they're just looking at GX taking the objective, and they're like, "Oh,
Like,
okay."
what's
well,
something
we have this one."
you are still ashamed of?
To lose his hair about this collector in the bottom side for the Jin.
Yeah.
What can you say about that? That's not like
I hate
super
Jin. I
personal.
just hate Jin because I feel like Jin is just like is this trap for like every single pro player. You know, they just rock up and they're like, "I'm gonna bring a collector because it feels good." But you know when it doesn't feel good? After you buy it, because it's just ass.
I also get to like a Sion who's gonna be like, yeah, lethality does nothing. Good luck, like, because I think like it was like 25 minutes into the game, and all he
you're
had
just
was
tickling
like,
him.
he had the Warden's Mail, not even a completed armor item, like Jack Show, sure, but like there was no.
Yeah, I'm ashamed of Heretics' performance.
Because like sometimes we say, but it doesn't really influence the game. So does it? Would it have helped if he didn't have Collector and if he showed up at the Drake and he had better items or not?
Well, you know, in that fight, he did miss pretty much all of the bullets, you know, so that sucks. And then he had
That's
to
in
reload hitting the
Salisbury in the
silence, that
background.
also
It's
sucks.
pretty
But
cool.
it's just, regardless of what he would have built, he would have been useless at that point in the game. It's just, with a different build, he would spike at third item, maybe in time for that fourth Drake. But then again, GX did an amazing job to accelerate this game and make it so that that trigger, that fight to end the game, happens a lot earlier than Team Heretics would want to.
Yeah, we had that like static shiv rapid fire cannon build, which was the mosquito build, but this had a little bit more. So maybe it's like horsefly, and then it's like, but you have to actually get any further along before you're anyway threatened.
Oh, we're having boring games.
I like that you took the side of, hey, well, GX did everything right and they played their comp to perfection. We had some question marks about Jun and which Jun we were going to see.
So
he was really good. The bot lane was really
watch
good.
a bit
But
of
again,
Fnatic
like it's all about timing for Heretics back in the saddle.
Yeah.
We could have our first not 2-0.
I would have had
of
more
the
fun
playoffs. Do
playing
you think it's
Lux
gonna
right
happen?
now.
Oof. Honestly, I would say no, because I really wanted to believe in Team Heretics, especially after the adaptations they made to the draft, because this, you cannot get more firepower than this, you know? But
I don't even know what
just be
LPW
late
started
and not really
with
be
today.
proactive in other areas of the map where I would have wanted them to be more proactive
807.
makes me a bit of a doubt.
I like
because
how
when
we're
tension is high, when you're on the brink of
1, 2, 3.
elimination, you go back to
We're
fundamentals. You go back
maybe
to what's easy, which is stacking
4
drakes,
wins
you
up
know,
or
having
something,
stable
and we're
laning
only
phases,
plus
maybe
30
finding some
LP.
ganks. Team Heretics found none of them, while GX managed to slow this game down, or like narrow this game down to such an easy win condition. They kind of takes all the fate out of Team Heretics from me.
It's also just the fact they felt like they were on different pages.
Yeah.
Like you see Nocturne on mid wave trying to hit the mid lane tower. Jin has gone top to try and help out his dead top laner, and then you're not in a position where you're anywhere on the map.
They were
It's just-
tilting you.
Yeah, because there's a lot of these plays where, with the correct answer, if you're all doing the same play, where you're not so disjointed, then all of a sudden, League becomes a more easier game because we're not at the point where League is just there's only one correct play and everyone needs to do it. There's 2 or 3. You're at the point where you just need to pick one of those.
You know what
but
I'm
you need
gonna
to pick
miss
one
in
together,
Korea?
and that's
All the
where Jinx
kimchi.
did a better job.
You always get free
Well,
kimchi.
we'll see what happens.
I even get
for,
free
Team
kimchi
Heretic. They need
where
to
I'm
keep their head
living.
in the game, they've still got a chance in this best of 3, but G-Ux.
And it's
G-Ux,
like very
G-Ux, are you
good
wearing
quality
Uggs?
as
I don't
well.
know, they look hot to trot. We'll be right back.
And obviously, but it's better quality than in Sweden, and you get it for free.
Okay, okay. Okay, on me. Nice. Okay, first target. We can engage both sides. Nocturne, he's 1 HP. Dead. I think he's dead. I'm fine. They are holding them, you guys can come to me. Let's go, let's fight them ourselves.
Yeah, I do usually have it at home, but there's ingredients that you can't find in Sweden when you make kimchi yourself. So it lacks some of that like sweetness and fishy flavor. I'm gonna see if I can find some of the ingredients you need before I go home. Have a break, have a Kit Kat.
Brother, let me try.
Wait. Brother, let us break this instead. Brother.
Have a break. Have a Kit Kat.
What is this, brother?
Perfection.
What is something you were assured of in the past, but is uncertain about now? I don't understand this skit. I don't really understand it either. It's a little bit too cringy for me. I could write a Kit Kat ad.
The human body was built to move.
It would be controversial, but yeah.
Homework,
yeah.
It's time your chair evolved.
I'm trying to come up with answers that are not,
ergonomically engineered for you.
you know, oversharing.
Artists backing your every move.
Flamingo. I need some hair improvements. The changing lens one is kinda funny though. If they kept like having more lines, it would have been bad, but it's a one-liner and it's not that long. We're all gamers. I want to make a montage. When I go home, I'll make a Korea montage. Soloq montage. I predicted 2-1 for GX and 2-0 for Vitality. Yeah, now I'm hoping for a 2-0.
Welcome back to LEC versus. We're in a lower bracket matchup where we have Garen and Lux. Wow. Wow. That's a lot of Demacian support. Brother and sister on stage. Who supports which team is the question. Are they aligned in supporting GX? There's a lot that we're going to need to unpack here. Does Lux canonically support one particular team? Because those skin sales would go a lot. One of those teams is going to be really excited.
I'm playing Lux.
That's all I'm saying.
And there's a Lux cosplay on LC stream.
Yeah. Welcome to the desk where they dress as
Coincidence? I think not.
Worn vests in 6 years, but here we are,
three brothers.
All together. 3 brothers, a family, as we get ready for draft, hoping to see.
He's on such a Viking. Look at him.
For our first 3-game series, but after game 1. It's hard to know.
He needs to bulk a bit, and then he's a real Viking.
Redix bounce back in the series, and I don't want to be that guy to just harp on about draft, but sometimes you need
don't
to
compliment
be
the
what
Dane. He coached me.
It was the draft.
You need to what?
You need to be what you don't want to be.
I'm a hidden supporter.
It's like philosophy.
You sound like a horse.
If exchange
Thank you. Yeah, all right,
no, that's not a compliment.
Lux cosplay.
It was.
It would be nice if I was still blonde. Is there a non-blonde Lux skin?
For my relationship with Jack and for Team Heretic's relationship with the draft. So far, we're seeing a lot of the same bands. We got a Mundo, we got
Everyone
Vesta.
pisses me off sometimes.
Team Heretics are back on red side.
Lux skins.
Caitlyn band, which is
she has a lot of skins. Surely one is not blonde. I will not cosplay red hair.
I feel like it's become a lot more common these days.
I mean,
especially
when you get is pretty common, but as a band, it's pretty rare, I'd say.
Because we saw it yesterday as well in the
no, she's blonde in all
series,
of them.
I think. Just because of how I think oppressive the champion can be, particularly once you get into game 2, game 3.
I would cosplay the Star Guardian.
Today could be the day. In any case, I think that it just removes one of those.
Battle Academia is more like
and it could also
orange.
just be something that many pros consider to be good into Corki. So perhaps this raises the value of the Corki pick to an early rotation from Heretics.
Porcelain Lux, actually.
It's pretty good into Corki, yeah. You can always just kite him out and
Porcelain
use your longer range to not allow him to have any all-in.
Looks
and
like,
it's just like a strong early laning phase
her
champion.
hairstyle looks kinda Asian.
Take out the Jarvan as well, away from Isma.
So I think it would.
We'll see what Giants locks in.
It would work.
I think they should care.
I mean, Oriana's banned, Talia's gone. You could always respond with a rise for Seren, but
Panda Lux is cute though.
They're thinking about it.
Big debate on the first pick here. As you said, mid lane pool feels wide open.
Yeah, we gotta go to Narcon again. I gotta this one.
Oh, Rise gonna be the lock-in.
This surprises me, mainly because I feel like Seren's quite comfortable on the Azir.
It's like you can let all the cringe out, you know?
Like the Cassio if you want to, and Nivea
let
is
all
also
the
open.
cringe out.
That a bunch.
I wonder if
in
it's
just one day, and then you can be
the early game really high.
semi-normal rest of the year.
Decided to ban out the Caitlyn, because they just Ginex thinks if we have better early game champs, we have more proactive champs, then we can just have a repeat of game 1.
There's no way you thought that Shaco was going to get locked in.
Look, if there was ever a time, this wouldn't be it.
I'm
but
saying
there's never ever been a time for Shaco.
I want to go to Narcon.
Who knows? You
this
know?
year.
I don't know what
and
the
let
metrics
all
are
the
for an
cringe
appropriate time to pick Shaco. It's
Okay.
literally never happened.
I don't think like 1, 2 at least.
Was it Kikis?
Haha, 6, 7.
It's definitely happened. It's happened at All-Star too, but it
what
all
are you
blurs
gonna
together. It's
cosplay
having a Rip
from
Rivals
those?
maybe. I'm just making stuff up.
You
Anyway.
can all do a yo-yo group
Now
cosplay.
with Anivia. Anivia, you know, went from that one niche pick to now pretty popular in the context of the meta, good against the relative short range of Rides.
Yo-yo is
Yeah,
the
it's a common
weirdest
Rise
stuff you can
counterpick at this
cosplay.
point. Has a really good laning
Very
phase into it
bright
and scales
colors,
really
weird
well.
makeup.
Gone.
Do you guys remember those 2 weeks where everyone thought Malphite
It's
was
a hair
mega
roller
OP,
for my
and then he was
bangs.
perma-banned? We saw it once, and I was pretty sure it was Isma. Didn't do
Picking
anything all game.
Anivia this early. I kind of like Anivia since our rotation, because now you have one champion that's also good against range.
I'm just saying, all I did was state facts. I didn't rewrite any history.
Acting classes
But
or
also Isma was popping up until he ulted on the Malphite.
understandable.
Now we have
Aatrox, probably jungle, presumably.
Well, flex, man.
It's a flex.
It's not a flex anymore.
Not-
It's jungle.
it's
It's a jungle.
I don't know, man. I've heard a lot about Aatrox support really gonna.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Aatrox ADC.
I went to theater
All
class
right, Trayson, what have you got
for
cooking
one
for
term.
us?
He's gonna go with Gnar.
All right,
When I
what's
was
the Gnar
like
win rate? That's
13.
4-4. Okay, for some reason I thought that Gnar just hadn't won a game.
You know what though? I don't mind it.
I'm pretty sure all the wins was up against Wolves.
I don't know if I've talked about this before, but
I wonder why.
All right, so we have 3, short to mid-range bruiser
went
champions on
together
one
in
side, and then we
Nuzlocke.
got Gnar and Nivea.
we were doing Alice in
I don't know how to feel about this draft.
Underlandet. Alice
I want to
in
say fairly similar in
the
that
Alice.
they both have kind of some soft engage.
And I
They
was
both have decent range.
the
Right now,
warm
biggest advantage that Anivia
guy.
has is I honestly think that Rise gets prio early.
Wonderland.
Yeah.
Okay.
But and you could argue that once you get
And I had like 4 lines in the entire play.
Against the Rise. What Anivia
And
does, though, is
the girl who
she
was
just finishes
Alice
short-range champions
forgot
really
her
well.
line,
Rise, you find in a fight that you're actually relatively short range. You have to
so
close
I
that
couldn't
gap.
even
All
say
the super punishing
my
against
longest
Rise, the
line
from Anivia, but all- it's in those
because
fights
she
where it becomes
forgot
super
hers,
difficult.
and like
Also the Narwhal
as she was
combo.
forgetting it, I
Absolutely,
like told her,
Horn of the Sea.
you're supposed to say this now.
For me,
And she's
this
like,
feels a bit
I
like
know there's
game
the
one, but
next
reverse.
scene.
This
There
time
is
it's
no
Team
next
Heretics
scene.
that can really
This is
tie
the
out
last scene.
Giant
I
X
mean,
with their longer range. I mean, Nar, so it's going to
So
be
yeah,
Chrysanthemum
I
and Lydia
didn't,
the Rise. The only difference is that Giant X have champions that are more
I didn't say
independent,
all of my
let's say,
lines
that can
even.
stand on their own and do their own thing, but it's still a lot of onus here on Jun to
And
find some
when we
engage
were
to set
like
up
in
Jun
the
for success.
finished, and they were saying everyone
And it is insta-lock Lucian Nami.
of the
This
actors,
is going to be the most feast or famine comp. And I thought the Team Heretics
they
composition from game
forgot
1 was
the
the most feast or
only
famine comp
guy
we've seen
in
all
our
weekend.
entire
Wow, if you fall
class.
behind on this comp, you have to ask
Just
the
didn't
enemy
say
team
his
permission
name.
to approach an objective.
But it's also
And I
like
think he's
Lucian
dead or
Nami up
something,
against
like,
Anivia. I mean, you do have
I
the
had to
ultimate for
remind
the longer
them.
range, but once that's down, it's so
From the
difficult with
audience.
this low-range ADC to play into these carries.
So I mean, no one got like angry or anything, but I just remember those 2 things very, very clearly.
But
I didn't continue that class, but at least it was a bit fun when I did go.
Yeah, they're like,
Maybe.
what if I gave you another one?
Like I can say that I've tried it now. Yeah.
This is, yeah, I think it's difficult to understate how hard it will be to play team fights in this game if you fall behind. But that's an if you fall behind, right? If we see a
My
situation where
acting
GX getting
is
more breaks, they get first objective set up, then it does get a lot more difficult. The potential on side lane for this composition to just dominate, or
It's
if
just
you're able
not
to get
very
these
convincing.
creative flanks from any one of these short-range champions, a lot of what Team Heretics are trying to do can fall apart.
Good
But
night,
again,
Surveillon.
one of these teams, we say the plan is just set up and fight front to back. The other one, we got like a 5-paragraph essay on what needs to happen.
I mean, I think, though, if you do play through this game in your head, you can see how Noah and Jun gets prio, Jackie's gets prio as well, he uses the Rise ult to roam, Isma's able to start stacking Drakes. They do have a lot of, like, real early game win cons in this game.
Oh, also
a
fun thing that semi-fun thing that happened in my Korean class. We were talking, answering questions, and so or something about regretting something. So I said, oh, I regret that I stopped playing piano because, yeah, now I don't know how to play it that well. And my teacher, asked why. So I said I didn't like my teacher. And she asked like, oh, did she beat you? Was she mean to you? Because apparently that's normal. That piano teachers, they like slap your hands and stuff.
Well, I'm not building proto belt on my
Yeah.
Akali, okay? I'm not doing it.
What are you building on your Akali?
Gunblade. They never should have got rid of the item.
That was not
Agreed.
why.
Agreed.
That was not why I quit.
No.
I did not get beaten by my piano teacher.
Do you want to know what I used to build? Deathfire Grasp Victor. Okay, now that might seem weird to you, but back in the day, Victor didn't have any of this nonsense. He basically just got flat AP. He had an item that was locked in his inventory, and then when you bought more stuff, you could upgrade it, and then it just did more damage. And so what you did is you DFG, QE, Alt, one-shot.
Sounds real skilled, buddy.
What if
I feel like whenever I speak, or whenever I have had this conversation with an adult about piano teaching,
anyway, there is a pause.
their experience has always been super bad.
Initiated the pause. Player reported a
Like
potential bug.
traumatizing bad.
On the bottom. Officials are reviewing. Whenever we get more information or updates,
things have changed now.
As a player has apparently loaded in with the wrong runes, which they believe to be a bug.
It's a rune bug again.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's any weird. I think it's not a keystone, maybe, because all the keystones look pretty normal. Unless maybe Noah wanted to have electric cube.
I was about to ask, is press the attack normal on Lucian? I would say.
I mean, I think PTA is better, but some people do like electrocute. You get sudden impact, but
none of the keystones look incorrect.
Yeah, I mean, this happens a lot.
Maybe he
it's a known client bug.
Is way better for the laning phase.
Yeah.
So I think it's maybe some minor rune.
Yeah, it's probably something.
We'll see.
I mean, I'm like whole
we will share it.
set
But
thoughts.
now that we've got a moment.
Back to
piano.
No.
But
So, Jack
it's hard to learn the rhythm,
my turn.
or if you're doing the correct movement with your hands when you're switching keys without the teacher.
Anivia has so many phenomenal skins.
No.
And you just remove all of her cannon by turning her
Maybe
into
I will
a
take
bat.
classes one day again.
Lose
I was
her
thinking
egg
about
power.
it when I got my
No,
piano.
she's a phoenix. She's a majestic ice phoenix.
Okay,
But
and then you're gonna turn her into a bat.
pretty expensive.
She should lose her passive
Bro,
when she uses that skin.
That model was put into this game before most people were born. The fact that they found a way to turn that into a bat with a hat on is
didn't
very
really
clever.
have the time.
You got to
I'm still in
appreciate the
classes.
craftsmanship.
Black Frost Anivia. You've got freedom Anivia.
Okay,
I mean, Black Frost
Eagle
Anivia is
Anivia.
really
You
good.
who are you? Since when have you quoted the lore to me as a reason that you shouldn't or should do anything?
Anivia is an iconic champion. Turning it into a bat.
But also, there's a lot of
Imagine if you
jokes.
fell
Okay, I'm sorry. No.
Where they turn him into a dog.
What?
The Coma skin where they turn him into a dog.
Yeah, that's
we hate
cursed.
that
We
skin
hate that
too,
skin.
right?
We hate that skin. I would
Okay,
ban that skin in pro play if I could. It is infuriating. It's funny, but it's infuriating. Like Jet Ski Rek'Sai.
Yeah.
Which was way better in older
You know
XL.
what is acceptable?
What?
The skins that get turned into bees.
I want
Why
that
is that
trophy.
acceptable?
It looks so nice.
It's
arbitrary.
I
If
never
Anivia
had
turned
a
into
nice
a giant
trophy.
bee, I'd be okay with that.
Okay, I just also have to say that as a side note.
Oh, the paper mache Anivia skin.
Good.
I mean, the Black Frost is the best one.
It is the best. I
In
think
case
it's the
you
best skin in the
haven't
game.
guessed, we're still waiting for updates. Although I have one, but I need the prompt you to scroll. So potential bug, player loaded in. Never mind, that part might not be safe for air yet. We'll find out. Long Runes is the most recent update that we have. There's no way Phoenix but Ice can be the poster child for League of Legends. There's just way cooler characters.
on the Forest
you brought that up
Lake.
earlier, and I have to talk about it.
No, so what's your issue?
I'm just saying you called her one of the poster childs of like League
She's
of
one of
Legends.
the original.
Yeah, one of the OGs, but like
Yeah.
no one's first bringing up Anivia.
Okay, imagine if they turned Brand into...
Also, no, don't. Okay, hold on, wait. Am I allowed?
Huh?
Yes, I've gotten a yes. Okay, so league officials have determined, as both teams have already engaged with each other, causing this to become a game of record, we are going to play on with the runes, whatever they were. So we're going to get into game shortly. Maybe frustrating for the side of GX, who I believe initiated the pause, but don't have confirmation yet as to what the rune was or what the attended rune would have been. So we are getting ready to resume the game.
I mean, if it's like
Okay, I
client
got
bug, then
confirmation.
they should
So
have
he wanted
instant
first
post.
strike on Lucian, but he's got PTA.
PTA.
Yeah. So there we are.
To be fair, I think PTA is maybe better. So it's not bad. I mean, First Strike is nice, but it's pretty nerfed. But you can't
First
proc a lot
strike is
against
nice
the
when
Rel
you have
Corki.
Nami.
But PTA does scale a lot better, I'd say. So I think he shouldn't be too sad.
Okay.
Okay, but have you ever cold someone for $300? No. So
that could be taken out of context.
What do you mean engaged?
Whoops. All right, let's move on. As we see the battle of Bat Nivea and Pirate Rise. Pirate Rise, who's totally cool and acceptable from Betty's perspective, but
it's still Rise.
Bat Nivea, not okay at all.
Imagine if they turned Rise into a squid, okay?
That
like
would
that's
be
basically what. No, it wouldn't be.
They could just put the little Davy Jones tentacles on him now, and it would fit in with the pirate. Dude, you're terrible at this.
No,
they should just whatever you say, they should do the opposite. And they'll make
I think
great
this
skins.
draft is insane for Nivea. Okay, I thought we were talking about the skin. That's all right.
My favorite
champion with that Nivea, the
That's
cryo
a mod.
feed.
That's a mod. Someone paid him to put that comment in there.
So we watched this mid matchup multiple
No
times.
one has ever said
the accusation.
You know what? There it is. There it is.
Bro's gonna be priority
Fun
game.
fact from our production team is we see a bit of fist fighting here.
Lucian's gonna priority game.
Currently on an 11-loss streak in the LEC.
I don't like Aatrox at all. I hate Aatrox actually. It's so bad. No.
Last year, Calist, the one
I think Aatrox against the Nivea.
Again, we talked about how
Wait,
well they're going to be that
Quirky.
graphic of
The Lucian.
But the good news is this early game will surely, unlike the last early game, be.
However, since I was pathing top, so maybe.
More potential.
Did he show mid?
Recap some of the comments and concerns we had from the draft, just because I think it's going to be important later on to this game. So GX's comp, very little engage. And by that, I just mean that they don't have an easy way to start a fight. In contrast, the team
I wonder if that means Heretics are giving first streak.
Xin Zhao, and they have reliable follow-up regardless of who ends up actually starting that fight for the team. So Heretics have all these tools to pick a fight basically whenever they want.
Lucian wanted first strike over PT.
You've got Corky Poke, you've got Anivia using walls and the ulti to zone control. So playing around these neutral objectives could be challenging for GX's. Jackie's is already
They're going for this
on the
dive.
run.
They know since I was pathing top, that's why they can do this, by the way.
Maybe hoping to get a kill back in return. Jun beautifully taking the tower and first blood going to Isma.
They must have seen since I path through mid.
The base, and Giant X just pounced on the opportunity with Jackie's roaming with the Ghost as well. And Ice, even though he has the flash, doesn't decide to use it. He's now going to lose one wave and another as Giant X pushed his wave in. I mean, this was the exact win condition that we talked about for Giant X.
This is incredibly devastating. Now remember, Jackie's doesn't have TP. He's giving up a
That's
wave to
rough.
make that play happen. But I think the alternative is just letting Ice sit there and farm comfortably and kind of squandering that early lane advantage. So an aggressive play from GX, but one that's paying off beautifully.
I mean, I'm really impressed with that dive. It was incredibly clean. The tower aggro management was also very well done. And yeah, of course, a sack in the mid wave for Jackie's, but you can see the goal difference really isn't there. And Anivia, like,
I wish we could have a VOD or something, so we could see if this bot that since all.
Kind of originally
but it looked like the
minion
minion was
it's a very old school one a few years ago. And the whole idea again is that Anivia punishes short range champions, and in the lane you can do a good job of bullying out on this Rise, but what you can't do is follow Rise.
Yeah.
Like, Anivia doesn't have the mobility and goes for a lot of mana early on. She doesn't go for early boots. And so it becomes very difficult to keep up with a Rise that's basically just leaving lane and doing what he can on the map.
Yeah, you can see there that even though Seren is winning the trades against Jackie's, due to the fact that Anivia has so little wave clear, it's still Jackie's that is able to continue to get prio and get push. And that's why
well, sometimes it's client briefing the runes, to be fair.
Sheo setting up here for the potential lane gank. Of course, no flash, no sums burned here in the previous play. Only Ice's barrier dropped.
Sten does have the flash, but since Noah has cleanse,
go
even
work.
if he's able to get the flash Q, Noah can just cleanse and dash away, so Sheo just takes the base.
Thanks from Isma. Going for a long wraparound here.
Oh, they don't have any vision here. Ice, no barrier. He does have the flash, though.
He's going to wait for the minion wave to crash so that he has more time.
I mean, now Noah can just dash in, and he knows that if Team Ready
let's have some positivity.
Isma's behind.
Isma on the way forward, a little bit of slow coming down. Sten, Noah holding on to the cleanse. Ghost now finally coming out. Sten locked up, but crucially the Infernal Chains will not pull him back. Double sums burned.
Heretics bot are getting bullied.
Trade from the side of GX is continuing to put pressure on this Team Heretics bottom lane.
And my question now is, will Giant X be able to convert this into a Drake, which is really the next objective and a huge one for them? Sten decides to stay, and they're looking for a pick now.
I think this is overeager from Isma, but he seems unconcerned. Infernal Chains, a little bit more healing from the passive. Dash back from Isma is good. Able to make it out is
how you do.
Our first on the rotation. Jackie's hanging around, but he doesn't have any mana to support.
Well, Team Heretics are actually going to be able to pick up the Drake. I think due to Jackie's conditions, like you said, Dragos, Giant X decides to better off it and give it up towards them. So a much better start for Team Heretics in the Drake department, at least, in this game. As they're able to pick up the Infernal
Okay,
Dragon
but
now.
why are we
Oh,
giving
cheese
that?
on the ice.
Bubble there. Follow up, nice additional damage. Just going to chunk ice out of lane, kind of threaten a potential follow of dive. Likely does just have to recall here as Noah already up to a 300 individual gold lead. But again, the pressure continues to be on GX to keep extending this league. Team Heretics having that Drake, having that backup option, it's definitely nice in the early stages.
I mean, they did so much damage, didn't even notice the ice used the barrier.
I'm getting
exchange as
so
well, just melted through
sleepy.
that summoner spell. I was kind of expecting Noah to flash after him, but he's saying, you know what, I'll be happy with that summoner spell and the advantage I've already gained.
Yeah, I mean, the big reason Noah doesn't flash forward there, because I have the same thought, Vetty, is just he knows Sheo just did Drake. They have no vision and River. So it's like the only way
Is
the
your
play
stomach
could go
feeling
wrong
better?
is he flashes forward, and then Sheo and Stand are actually there. So good, I think, just instincts from Noah, because that just allows him to continue building the CS lead, now 400 gold lead, and he's building towards the Essence River. So once he really completes that, and once we get that Imperial mandate on the Nami, that's when this bot lane duo
Tomorrow
really comes
is
online.
Sunday.
Definitely true. Brief moment of calm here. Of course, on the top side of the map, Team Heretics winning in the 1v1 pretty handedly, although now that the first recall has come through, maybe things start to even up. Observers, though, keeping us bot lane, rightfully so. At any moment, a fist fight
What
could
should we
break out.
eat tomorrow?
Gynex looking to hold the wave here, just so they can look to trade when Team Heretics wants to walk up for minions. They get the ward as Sten places down, so they just want to kind of have it as like a freeze, as a slow push, try to deny as many minions from ice as possible. And with Sten basing as well, it just means that
There's
Ice is
no
gonna
good
have to
bread here.
sit
I
here
will not
and
eat bread.
watch the minions die.
Guys is just
Very sad.
suffering here, and his support just recalled as well. I would cry.
Mid lane. The Ghost already coming out. Isma hoping to find an angle here. Infernal Chains down as Jackie's back steps. Not a whole lot else to get. Just a chunk of health off both mid laners.
Rel is here, though.
Maybe I
Was the
didn't
Ghost
know
burn
that.
from Jackie's?
Maybe I'll have a big
The Giant X can
lunch.
get the HP advantage, but now you can see since Saren got that level 6, he can actually match Rise's wave clear and even get pushed first. But Giant X, they want to try to look for Saren in the jungle.
Content
They
idea.
don't
Bread
spot him.
tier
They might have been able
list.
to go for more. Of course, one of the other struggles
Sure, I'll
is
do it when I get
Rise a
home.
lot scarier on that roam. And Nivea really doesn't want to be caught unawares moving between lanes.
I would
Although
do
I
a
think that
snack
mid
tier
lane play
list
highlights
like
beautifully
we
what
talked
Gentleman
about,
talked
but
earlier with the
I
lack
don't
of
actually want to
reliable
snack
CC. The
anything,
setup is hard for
so
these ganks. Is Sheo. Of course, the Drake already went down earlier. They were able to grab it, so now Sheo set up to take the grubs. Has the top lane push, courtesy of Tracer on the Gnar, who's just been able to sustain pressure throughout all of this early game. GX don't have much of a counterpunch on the bottom side. They're not really in a great position to dive, even though they do have some decent vision set up.
I mean, I think the GX bot lane is going very well, though. You're 500 gold ahead. You are winning out on every skirmish, and the vision investment on the bot side of the map is consistent from GX as they make sure to provide Noah and Jun with the safety that they need to play as aggressively as they want to.
I think I
I
did
do
know
think, though, that
that.
Betty, this gold lead is a bit pickle. The fact that they haven't been able to pick up a single objective yet,
And then I did game up
it's a
for
worry
dinner.
that I have for them, especially just due to the nature of their comp. I think they really need to be with the foot on the pedal at all times and continue snowballing. I do think, though, once Nami gets that mandate, once Noah gets Essence River, that's when they can really, really start to bully out Ice and try to continue the snowball.
Noah did stick
Good
around in the brush
plan.
there, as did, well, looks like Jun did leave to go back to mid lane, so Noah needs to be a little bit careful here, but has the flash and the cleanse as well, as Jun and Jackie starting to move down to bottom lane. I think Noah
That's the
probably just short.
problem.
Yeah,
The-
since
I think
Reaver.
he needs probably
The
this way.
K,
That's why he ended up staying,
K,
even though he's low on
Ik,
mana.
Kim.
Notice that Isma does this pretty much every time
In
he comes to bot lane.
Roman
He's also completely
letters,
skipped his
it's
top camps
written with a
to B
K,
bots in anticipation of contesting these bot
KO.
camps.
but yeah, in Korean,
Cancelled his own Infernal
it's
Chains
a
there, so he
mix.
wasn't able to
and then there's a
continue chasing
different
Shell, but still
letter
looks
if
like
it's
gonna
a
be the
really
top,
hard
as you said,
K.
Betty. I mean, Isma is just trying to live inside of enemy jungle this game.
But yeah, you don't
and
say
continue pressuring
Kim
bot.
or Kim, just
He's
Kim.
going to be able to take
Kim
the
bot.
Gromp, but not really getting maybe as much as he would have liked out of this. They haven't really been able to shut down Sheo. The CS lead is very, very equal.
I'll say it was kind of a necessary play too.
And then
just
there's
by
a
abandoning
third
his
one,
top
which is
camps.
an
If he
even
hadn't
harder,
gotten
like
anything on the bot side, he'd just passively be falling behind. So by taking away the Gromp, he can now move to his bot side camp, still be in a position to contest the dragon spawning in 18 seconds. Resets are starting to come through from both the Gnar and the Anivia, so that they can spend what gold they have ahead of this
That
fight.
is like a
Will the
soft
item
K.
pick up B for Anivia? Just a blasting one. Okay, so not quite enough for the Rod of Ages. But it's always that awkward moment for all tier champions when they have to contest an early dragon. You
But
don't have a lot
they
of
use the
damage
same
to the
letter
odds.
when,
No, you
for
do not,
example,
as Jackie is just doing what he can to even up the mid wave. Saren TPing back to mid to make sure he could get pushed so that they could try and contest this Drake, but it's really only Noah and the junglers with completed items for this fight. See if the top laners want to get involved, because in the meantime, Trayson is just putting some hurt on those top lane plates. Like they just continue to grow his own.
Don't write in.
Bully Team Heretics out of the river.
I get such a stroke
the objective.
when people try to romanize.
Giants do have control here, but due to the fact
Like it doesn't work.
this mid wave,
It doesn't. Yeah.
And Noah's going to look to try to push in this bot wave, kind of ping pong it back into their favor. Team Heretics are.
Noah's powerful, 700 gold lead. Tidal wave connecting on the Saren in the back line.
Okay.
On the way forward.
Atrox looking strong. It's one shot. No, there's another best of 3 after this.
Flash out his lot now on the chase. Unstoppable. Comes towards Pathmaker. Gets the kill to Noah, who flashes over the wall. GX happy to have the kills.
Lot TP's in, but Trayson doesn't match.
I mean, it's a 1-for-1.
Even though Team Heretics
and
one-shot Isma, they're the ones that end up having to run away and fly
Jax had to burn
TP. It's going to be
TP.
the top tower going in Trayson's favor, and since Giant X weren't able to pick up the Drake due to Isma being dead, I think it's not a bad call from Trayson to not TP there.
I agree. I think it's a worthwhile trade overall. You also get the flash out from both Noah and Lot, and both junglers will respawn at about the same time. Trayson dying here would not be ideal, but now that you know that the enemy bot lane is on the top side of the map, you should just make a beeline towards Dragon, I feel.
And you can see Sheo doing just that. Dream for GX would be to shut down Trayson on the top side, take away that one strong point on the map for this Team Heretics lineup. Is Trayson finally going to get to spend that hard-earned gold? Sheo likely just to take the second Drake here. Lot is hovering around, but gonna probably just eat a lot of damage for even face checking into this
Bolt
area.
is just like kind of fake pressuring here, because you can see Isma's up doing his Grom, and bot lane is not looking to move. So it's gonna be second Dragon now going for Team Heretics, and even though the gold lead on Noah is 1.3k, so it's very large, but without any objectives to back it up, I'm really favoring Team Heretics' chances here going into game 2.
Have to see how GX can try to build a larger gold lead. They lost that top lane tower first, but now Noah's left isolated here to try to get something else. And while in the earlier stages, Jackie's was clearing these waves out just as quickly as Anivia was, the longer this lane matchup has gone on, Saren, especially with the completed row, it makes things that much harder.
I want ice cream. I'm craving ice cream.
But that means the stun is going to work and there's nowhere for him to go.
Oh, wait, why is Noah alone against enemy top laner?
To stay for one more wave, and Sten very intelligently opens top there to actually punish him. That's a big loss for Giant X.
I mean, you use that.
What ice cream flavor do you have?
Alone, I feel like.
Okay, he chose.
Yeah.
Okay, he was.
Just
as a fellow ADC, he's a victim. His team left him.
You should have Häagen-Dazs here.
Played safe.
I think I can find Häagen-Dazs.
Right?
Like the small ones.
Has he been left alone?
He looks pretty left alone.
Sides up on the Q3, good. Infernal Chains
Vanilla, Häagen-Dazs, and a cappuccino. Life couldn't get any more tasty than that.
Okay, do we need to have the talk with AD carries about junglers being on the map again, Jack? Do we need to have that talk?
I mean,
I'm gonna celebrate.
But they do exist, AD carries. I know you were uncertain in the farming jungler meta sometimes if they were real or just a story we told you to keep you farming, but they do exist.
Whatever, man. I'm gonna celebrate the end of this month. Like, celebrate that it's ending at the end of it
having a good time
by buying an ice cream.
Jackies is not having a great time on the top lane. The top lane is the bane of GX's existence. As it looks like they're set to lose another.
Heretic.
Oh.
I was gonna say they're doing a comeback, but now they're dead.
The culling is here. Top lane, an absolute fist fight. His Team Heretics gonna retreat, losing their jungler in the
I'm a
process.
poet of sorts.
The hero plays, getting the heal onto Jackie's to get him away to safety, then connecting the bubble onto Sheo. GX are able to turn the play in their favor, and they'll get the Herald as their reward.
Finally, Giant X picking up an objective here. It's going to be their first in this game. And it was really
I
close.
struggle to eat caramel flavored
However, on the other
sweets.
side, I mean, Trayson, now with a 1.5
I don't know why, it's just in my brain.
Really leaving his mark on this Gnar.
Even if it's tasty.
Back at this, and the numbers advantage favor Heretics. They go for the engage, the damage looks good. The E, though, not quite enough damage from Seren to finish off the kill. Then the heal comes through, and now Sheo's like, wait a minute, I don't have the HP for this. I've got nothing left to escape. Noah arrives at the right time to help secure that kill.
Like, it doesn't taste bad ever, but it's also like...
Shotgun. Even we don't think they're playing the shotgun, they're playing the shotgun. Ran out of steam, could not finish the fight, but continuing to get
It
so
feels
much
heavy
money
even
into
if
Tracen's
it's
back
not.
pocket at the very least. Even Ice able to grab that plate in the mid lane, get him a little bit closer to Noah, who's working towards that second
I used to
item.
feel the same with chocolate. I
decides to
still
go the
do,
LDR
if it's
second
like
this
a
game. Instead, this
mush.
Force the flash.
I mean, a lot of additional HP on the opposite side between the Roa. You have the
Moss.
Thunder Sky,
If
as
it's
well
a
as Mars
Moss.
got a Trinity Force and a Kindle Gem. So I can see the argument.
Definitely, yeah. It's a big Giant Slayer game. I mean,
Pure
literally
sugar,
everybody
yeah,
on
but
the
so
enemy
is
team has got
marshmallows
He's
and
trying to trade back.
something
But this game much
more
closer than the previous.
surely.
Team Heretics.
And it doesn't make me
Again,
feel that
the
way.
roles feel reversed. You brought it up once before, but just to say it again, while GX do have this incredibly powerful Lucian, it feels like they've had a more successful early game than Team Heretics had in the previous game where we thought the compositions were similar. Still feels like the burden of execution is on them, and Team Heretics have a lot of powerful scaling options. Tracen with a healthy lead and 2 Drakes to their name.
Yeah, I think Team Heretics now, they can even choose to drop this Drake and play for tier 2 top, or they can choose to fight it, but they have that freedom at least that I think Giant X really doesn't. They really need to fight this dragon and get a good fight around it, but I think Team Heretics should be able to continue holding their control. It's really hard for the Lucian Nami to face check, as they don't have really any front line to face check the bushes, and you see that Isma is struggling here to really get that control.
No, I really don't like the Aatrox in this draft.
Play on this mid wave, and they need to try to utilize the Lucian Nami to get some poke before.
Like, Lucian Arm is very strong, so I'm sure they will win the fights.
So far, no poke. Fighting now for control of
But
that mid
look
wave.
how
You can see
Cassandra
Jackie
is
split
forced
pushing
to
in bot lane, but
rotate
happy to just
to
have the wave be neutral,
kinda
it would seem.
help
Perhaps just waiting to match Saren,
support
where he
the
does
face check.
choose to show up.
They're just waiting for Tracen to push out top here as they slowly try to.
Now
retake
Nara's
the
gonna
space.
get a turn
Start face
because of
checking.
that as well.
Celestial opposition down for Stend. Herald's gonna get summoned mid lane.
Yeah, this is good pressure generated by GX at least. This should give them much easier access into
bonk.
the river. Damage will be done, and Isma can walk away to safety. That extra plate not quite going to be secured, but not the end of the world, as I'm keeping my eyes on these top laners as well. Lot very close to level 14. I'm sure he'd love to have this ahead of the Dragon start. Tracen's already rotated over. TP going to come through ahead of that level up.
Tracen looking to stack up the Mega Gnar here on this mid wave, but Giant X are the one in full control here.
Lot needing to back up a little bit, still has the luxury of the shield. Dragon's going to reset at least a little bit here. Nope. Will they catch it in time? Mega Gnar there, but Team Heretics don't want to get too aggressive as they just lose
Could use
too
the
much
Rise ult.
HP.
They're going to.
Going in.
Oh
Need to
my
give that
god.
respect. Now going all in onto Sheo. Sheo, when it becomes lightning,
Oh.
manages to make it out over the wall. Jackie's
That's
and the rest of
pretty
GX
clean.
now on the hunt. They got the Drake. Shifting their
It looks
attention
like a
to top lane.
disaster,
Terran
saying that
starts to
TP
run.
out
GX
into
think
the
better
Rise
of it.
Dip.
Tracen split pushing top lane in the meantime. We'll at least get, I think, a plate in the process as Noah breaks down the mid lane tier 1.
I mean, it's really good control by Giant X. They're able to hold full control of the Drake. They
Hi.
poke down the members of Team Heretics that want to enter, and then when Team Heretics are chunked, they immediately pivot. They decide to put Trace in top, TP him in, but then that means that Jackies can ulti, but due to the fact that Sheo and the rest of Team Heretics are so slippery and there's so little CC on the side of Giant X, they're not able to actually convert it into any kills.
It's also so awkward for Heretics because there's nothing for them to cross map. They got the top out of tower, they got the bottom out of tower. Mid is the only real lane that they could have gone to. And again, as Jack was saying, they got chunked out while they even tried to approach that brush. So they basically ended up just spectating, allowing for GX to get that objective largely uncontested. And we
Can we
return
skip the
back to
team
the farming
fights?
game. I don't
Please.
expect
One
the
team
Baron to be
fights.
rushed down immediately. There's a decent amount of standing gold available for GX to grab.
I understand when you lose a game, you
still alive
like
outside of the mid
when you
lane
get
one.
stumped one
I
game,
do
you're more
think though, like
scared.
Tracen, I'm
to
pretty
take
sure he got 4
fights.
plates, 3 or 4 plates, so now it's
What
nearly
is the
2.5k
worry?
gold lead on Lot. And if he can continue this pressure up and get plates 1v1, that's when this
And
Gnar
they have a
really,
Nivea
really becomes a
also.
menace. As you can see, he's able to push Lot in
So this
deep,
is gonna be a long
you really
game.
wanna
There's
go one
gonna,
step
Anivis is
further and
gonna
be able to just
perma
hit the tower
later.
and actually progress and split push on a side lane.
Both top laners did use their TPs in the previous fight, or it could have been an advantage for Team Heretics to have. But of course, as you highlighted, might have meant a little bit less of the gold lead for Tracen. Lots will be up first, so a small window of opportunity is Sten walking right into that brush. There is a
Wait,
Rise
what?
waiting there, my guy. That is not where you want to be. overconfidence from Stan costing it.
What?
Stan lost track of Jackie. Jackie did a good roam towards mid. I
There's
don't
so much
think they'll be able to convert it
confidence.
into a Nasher as it's just a support dead, but that's more gold going into Noah's pocket as he continues to scale up on the solution. And,
Yeah.
Giant X will be able to at least have full control of the Nasher.
Everything is
I felt like
bad
Heretics
into
had such a good
large
start with the
amounts.
dragons that they secured and the grubs, but now that the map has opened up, it does feel like that GX is reclaiming control. They're punishing the mispositions of Heretics. They're finding pick after pick. They're
Sugar
making it
is
very
for
difficult for
sure
Heretics to really do
one
anything.
of them.
This is one of the struggles of the composition, right? Is that while Trayson is really strong in the sidelines,
Won't
Saren
stop
really
me
isn't.
though.
He
I
can't
will
afford to
still
push
have
that
my
extra
matcha
wave or force
latte.
Jackie's back
I
a little
don't
bit further
care.
so that he has that additional
I don't
information. And it's the mid
care.
lane tower the GX managed to take in the previous play as well, just opening the map up that much more in their favor. Sheo, though, wants to get a fight kicked off, but when becomes lightning doesn't hit. And
Hello,
Jackie,
Chris
you can see
Lipper.
the damage significant. They might be able to force the ulti out from this.
How's your
Sheo
soloq grind
running up.
going?
The rest of the team starting to split away. Stan looks like he's been
Stan
caught
is dead again?
Crash down there. Jackie's
Hello,
goes
what
at
are
it
you,
full
what's
speed.
up?
Doesn't quite
What?
hit him. Nice side step on the overload, but Jackie's not done yet. Commits the flash and takes out Sten again.
But now, is that a Nash? I mean, Sten is dead. Sheo is super chung. Will
Is
Giant
he
X pull the trigger? Yes,
confused?
they will.
I'm
They have a lot of damage
confused.
in the Rise Lucian. Let's see how Team Heretics enter.
Trayson just went Mega as well, so he's not going to be able to stack that before he has to get into this fight if they want to continue on this objective. GX, though, thinking better of it, don't want to take the risk. Trayson wandering forward, just a few more seconds to make it up, but he opts to leap out, which might just sign his own death for him because now he's getting called down. Noah
Yeah.
might not be making money
It's
off the
over.
first strike, but he's
This game
making
is
it off the
over.
kills regardless.
Their brains are
converting
exploded
pick
now.
after pick into a favorable advantage. They'll threaten the Baron once
So
more.
maybe
They
Sheo
have
will
the
steal
numbers
this. He has
advantage. Lots is
flash.
gonna go back to base. He has his TP available.
Maybe he'll
GX are
steal
looking to
it.
force the issue.
The round 2 here around the Baron Nasher.
I guess Hunter should just
Q3 looking to find an angle here.
He'd be on the way.
drag
Nice
Sheo
wall,
away
the
so we
lockup.
can't
Jackie's
steal
getting lower
it.
and lower. 7K
Who
on the
knows?
objective. While trying to body block what poke he can. Good poke coming in from Saren. 2.5K. Sheo getting involved. They managed to take it! Sten to steal the objective. The double knock back there.
Okay,
When
Stan
Sheo
just
is down.
inted
Bubble
2
perfectly on Sten.
times
It's gonna be at least 2 kills
break
back for
their
GX,
guard.
but a crisis
Put their guard
averted for
down.
Team
It's a
Heretics.
miracle steal for
And
Team
then
Heretics.
he
It's that
steals the
unsealed
Nash.
Spellbook smite combination from Sheo and Sten that allow them to secure the Nash. 2 people end up falling, but still, they're going to get the Baron Nasher, they're going to get the mid tower. Desperately needed for Team Heretics.
Gentlemen, I thought that after
Yeah, look,
last
they were
time,
caught
GX
completely
had
off
developed
guard.
some new techniques, but it seems that they're still prepared to take these flips. I don't know if they weren't expecting the smite from Sten, but double
What's up
junglers
with
going in, the double smite, easy secure. They get outsmited, and while GX do get the 2
What's
kills
up
in the
with the
pit,
Lucy and
losing the Baron
flipping
is gonna buy more
smites
time
on the
for
heads?
Heretics.
Yeah. Woo!
Ah, we are donkeys now.
He said it. And, you know, good for Sten, because he did die 3 times consecutively in the last 2 minutes, but he stole a Baron. And let me tell you which one of those events is the most important. It's the Baron.
I am
It's gonna be
entertained.
tower as well. That's a huge gold injection. I mean, Trayson already has such a massive gold lead over Lot. We'll see if he can actually translate that into impact throughout the rest of the game as gold continues to swing over. But you'll see that GX still in a healthy position gold-wise. Like, Isma is incredibly fed. Jackie's and Noah in a similar position. The Infinity Edge finished on this solution. I mean, look at the Baron power play. Right now, it's plus 76 gold. They've been able to basically
Oh, no, they're negative again.
neutralize the game as far as the Baron goes, which I mean, I guess is better than effectively losing it, which would have happened if they lost it.
Yeah. Your
So there's-
choice is lose the game.
There's
or
a
Yeah,
go
they
live.
did
here
too.
for sure, but
Yeah.
it's
Like the
more of
new
a
one?
By time start type
Sten
of Nash.
did take notes, that's true.
Isma and Jackie's here, both on a flank.
Pulling off on the side, decent chunk onto ice. Jackie's waiting behind. Saren going to be in trouble. Nice side step on the tidal wave, but it's Sten who's been caught out completely. No threat on the Noah means he gets to do whatever he damn well pleases. And right now,
I
they're
did
chasing
not
Saren,
watch
the
it.
flash, the piercing light, the egg or pumpkin. In this
I
case,
did see the
taken
trailer,
down, and Team Heretics
I think. I saw a
starting to
clip
run.
from the
GX again
trailer.
debating if they want to push for more, but really don't have the CC in the extended fight.
I mean, range be damned. Noah does so much
I wanna
damage
go
as
to
long
the
as he can actually
cinema
get
and I want
onto
to eat
them.
popcorn.
He's just one-shotting them. He takes down Saren with the flash. The silver lining for Team Heretics is that at
I'll do that
least Noah used
when
his
I get
flash here
home.
alongside Isma as well. So that does mean that they have a target on their back. But, I mean, it's 10-2.
Yeah.
It's Giant X that are in control of this game, and it's mostly due to how well they're holding the control. And I feel like they're punishing Team Heretics' nerves and their missteps throughout the game.
Yeah, because I'm just wondering, like,
Hello, Shadow
why are
Curly.
Heretics in a position to get engaged on so easily like that? In theory, I mean, you should just be waiting, I guess, stalling, buying more time. Instead, you're well beyond your outer towers. You are sitting in a position allowing for GX to kind of run you down. And at first, we thought that, well, Heretic's composition should allow you to stall, should allow you to keep your opponents at arm's length, for you to decide when the fights start. But it's really been GX that have been dictating the pace of this game. They have been the ones finding picks. They have been the ones initiating the fights.
And I think credit to GX, outside of that kind of fumble around Baron, they've done a really good job of never
4
giving
years ago.
Trayson an angle to team fight pretty much at all. If you take
I don't know. Time passes.
For GX, 3.5 items on Noah, 3 items on Jackie. Saren's still lagging behind, trying to finish his third.
Time
Ice
passes.
in a similar position. Without Trayson involved, these fights just aren't going to be close in terms of damage output at all.
Noah is just so far ahead of Ice, and does so much more damage. I think the way Team Heretics needs to win this game is they need to not allow Giant X to have any of these flanks. You saw it in the last fight when Jackie's and Isma can both flank them from a side lane. You lose all that pressure of this Anivia. I think Anivia is
going
really
to
the
cinema. I feel like I started going again last 2-3 years.
And make their life really difficult to play in team fights.
More than
so it
I
needs
used
to be
to.
kind of a standard, easy to play front to back, where Team Heretics has good vision, they have good setup.
So
and
nice
they could be the ones in control
way
of their own
to
fate.
Yeah, it does
have some
feel
shit
like you're
time.
telling them to like, oh, you need to get somewhere, just buy a car. Like, they're broke, bro. All those things are hard. How do they get prio when they're losing out on the side lane? How do they get vision when they can't walk into their own jungle? Because Isma
I mean, they do
lives
have
there, bro.
Trayson. I think that the way they do it is Trayson pushes out a bot wave and then he rotates to his team. But you can see Giant X are already on the proactive here. They've sent Lot up. They don't care about bot wave. So they're just going to look to force either mid or top here and try to utilize their numbers advantage. But as long as Team Heretics can hold here, then Trayson can actually look to hit bot tower. So a bit of an overstay from Lot. And I think really abusing Trayson's pressure on a side lane is how you get any sort of comeback into this game. And now you can see that it forced Giant X to base to answer to a split push. And that should, in theory at least, alleviate some of this pressure from Team Heretics and allow them to get some sort of outpush. But Saren does now push the top lane. They're just going to 5-man group it up mid. Let's see what happens.
You can see that one of these champions might be a little bit more important than another, as our production team is highlighting the total damage dealt.
4 top laners. Cassante getting out damaged by a Nami. Yeah.
Just Cassante things.
Cassante things.
Has the man gotten?
I saw the Minecraft movie in our amazing server instead.
I don't know.
I feel like probably yes in a team fight at some point, but I cannot remember a single Cassante ult.
He's got 3 assists, so.
Yeah.
That's a great question. I don't remember.
This is the thing we're going to have to track. Is Team Heretics. They don't have bot prio. They don't have top prio, but they got a lot of guspa. They got a lot of heart. They're moving in here without any of those things, trying to lay down some vision as Jackie's is fighting for control of mid wave. Doesn't get stunned.
That's the power of this Lucian Nami. They're able to get in this mid wave. Now they're holding full control.
Locked up by the Infernal Chains. He got to go. Gnar.
Trying to walk around here, trying to contest through bot. Stend is on a big flank.
Demoglio, they got like 3 to 10 seconds. It's really the rage bar is deceptive. They need to go on this timer. Trayson's still hesitating. Okay, Meganar is gone. Now GX can do whatever they want. Isma in the pit, Sten waiting over the wall. Sten no smite of his own this time around, does have access to the ignite. The tidal wave going, zones away the entire team, only clips onto Saren. Now it's Sten coming in from behind, trying to catch multiple members, and he does, but the fall just not there. Nice interrupt coming in from Lot to split it for the rest of the team. Sten taking down 2K on the objective zone, who's going to grab it in the end?
Isma basically dead.
Isma with a blinking health bar, but the GA means Sheo's not going to stick around. Realm Warp there, which Isma's taking for some reason, despite having no HP, and it's, well, they've swapped places. Team Heretics.
Okay, I don't hate her, but I feel like this fight.
Team Heretics get the dragon. I mean,
if any other jungler had this gold lead.
Why would they not go for bot tower? What are they afraid of?
Team fights would be so much easier.
Baron?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, if they overstay. Okay, let's rewatch the fight and regroup here. I love Sten's flank. He's put a pink ward already, so they don't see him at all. But it's good reactions from Giant X that allows them actually all the carries to flash to engage. And that's why he ends up going down.
I feel like the flank only works if Trayson has Meganar. But it was a distraction, so they got Drake.
And now we have a Nash fight.
Here we go.
Yeah, well, if it was any other soul, it would actually be win condition. But Cloud is kinda made for their team comp as well. Like Ult, CD on Gnar, Anivia, Corki, who cares? And being quick on the map is not as important if you're
I guess GX, they wanted to reset back out to the map as quickly as possible, and that's some nice damage. Now you should go force Baron.
Yeah.
You have such a health advantage, there's no reason not to. But
famous last
we've
words.
taken some notes,
Famous last
right?
words.
We've taken some notes.
Surely someone has taken a note. Lot's been completely isolated. This seems like a good deal. Let him die. Hit the Baron. GX trying to find the ball. Jo going over the wall. Double tied away.
Oh, Eunice just dead. Still, Nash still. Oh. That could have been. That could have been mega.
A Baron for 2 kills.
Oh, danger to the base.
She has to be careful not to overstay here as Isma turns back. Noah stepping in. Saren waiting over the wall. Tracing about
Lucian's
to go
gonna die here.
Noah shouldn't have tried to save his jungler. It might cost him his life. Decides to step on the wall.
Or not.
Flash away. Nibia trying his own Cena.
Oh yes.
Tracing trying to make the best. Noah holding on for dear life, and down he goes. The Baron is disappearing left and right. It's just Jackie's. The last
I guess we're going. Maybe going into game 3, huh?
Get the Baron, but the
Thank you.
4 members of their team. They commit to zoning away Heretics. Lot trapped without the support of his team. Jun doing everything in his power to help get him out, but then he finds himself trapped. Tracing comes in from the angle. Lot is forced to retreat, but the Baron is secured from GX. Now they need to get home, but Isma doesn't let them.
But what are Giant X doing? I mean, Jun could just let Lot get.
By the way, Noah would literally kill all of them here if Nami had not gotten caught and died. Look how close this is.
Flashing and dashing the skill shots. Tracing just flash ultis in him, and now they both end up dying, and it's just
Guys, there's sometimes you need to leave people behind.
Yeah.
They should have let Lot die for 4 people to have Baron, and they definitely should have just let Isma die and lose a GA to keep Noah alive.
All right, guys, I'll take some notes. I get the message. It's all good. Okay, so we find ourselves in a, well, relatively even gold state. The Dragon's Soul, a minute and a half away for Heretics. GX need to get this one to deny that objective away from them. Baron, of course, once again, functionally useless. I mean, it's netted a gold advantage for Heretics in its entirety. But some big items finish. Actualizer, Zhonya's alongside Jackie's. I mean, 4 items coming close to Ice and Saren. If they could buy a little bit more time, getting those spikes would be very valuable for them. And then the gold difference, when you're kind of at 4 items, really doesn't matter as much.
Stand as well with the
still a hard game to win, but
again, trying to recreate the magic of the first Nash steal.
It should still only
I
be
think an
damage
is
though, right?
pretty OP against
so
the
it's
team.
not a whole lot, but if you combine that with your own jungler smite, it's pretty good.
It's 2k damage.
A lot of damage.
But it's still Giant X that has full control of this dragon. Team Heretics have the luxury of being able to drop it if they so desire, as it's only the 3rd Drake for Giant X. But if I know anything about this game, I think Team Heretics are going to try to contest no matter what.
And I think GX are, guys, I'm shook after the last 2 objective fights. I don't know what to expect.
Well, check your notes.
The notes say let Lot die and let
Lot
which
die,
isn't relevant in this scenario.
Okay, yeah, maybe we don't check the notes. Heretics forcing their way through bot lane as Tracing catches mid. He's now going to TP to group with the team. The wall.
Really rough for Jun. Forced to flash away. Good wall from Saren. Just able.
They want to pull this out now. Pull it towards the bottom side of the river so they can start damaging it.
A 50-50 is very.
But the wall, they can use the wall to zone him away. Just like that.
Pushing away. Once again, they're able to connect on the Lot. Jackie bleeding off the side. Isma in the pit, hoping to win out on the 50-50.
Okay.
It's going to be sold for the side of Team Heretics. GX now desperate to keep the fight going. Instead looks for the re-engage, but Noah manages to dodge the initial CC. Noah still relatively untouched for now. The big one taking a decent chunk, but all of Team Heretics starting to back away. Tracing isolated.
Tracing is winning this one.
To connect on the Gnar. The follow-up is there from Ice. He goes gold and he buys a moment just to contemplate what the hell went wrong. Because Team Heretics take the fight.
And it's a double
whenever I see
Team Heretics that secures them the dragon,
players that
they get the
aren't
soul.
like known
Tracing
for
with a
already playing
fantastic
Nivea
armor
before,
picks off Jackie's off the back foot as well. If we watch
Start
this
playing an
fight.
EV now.
So Lot is underway by the wall.
It always looks pretty mid.
Out of the pit, and I mean, hey, the double smite works out. Sten, I think at this point goes in way too deep. It's very difficult for them to follow up because Lot and Isma is still standing in their way, so he ends up dropping. But then GX, they overcommit. They're hungry for more. And
No
that
wise
means that, I
man.
mean, Saren single-handedly keeps them off the back of a follow-up.
What? That stuns me.
Afraid it does.
Yep. I was surprised as well that it's not him. I'm not gonna lie.
Means it's a 1-for-1, but the soul secured. Heretics have clawed their way back into this game. GX Barons really need to be under heavy scrutiny, I think, by the coaching staff. A long talk after this one.
Yeah, but they're praying that they can scrutinize for a week instead of having to scrutinize in 15 minutes if this game ends in Team Heretics' favor.
I mean, you're definitely punching yourself if you're Giant X. 2 Baron Nashers that you messed up, but still, they can still win. I mean, the Cloud Soul makes it really easy to continue kiting out Giant X, so it just means that they need Noah to find that crucial bit of damage, just like that, and Cloud Soul won't save you against that.
Very true.
It's fine, Stan stole Nash once, so all his ints are given. Oh, they actually did a Nivea Nor wombo combo. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I take back what I said about Sarin. This Nivea's amazing.
They made the comeback happen, they got the dragons, and they're gonna take us to a game 3.
The Anivia wall plus Nah, we finally get to see it, and it is the combo that determines the game. Heretics, they stayed steadfast, they held strong.
Okay, I'm not watching that game, I think. It will be too late.
GX might be kicking themselves, but right now Team Heretics kicking them harder, taking them to a game 3. And what a fight, a single moment from a game that was so GX favored into a win for Team Heretics. And finally, gentlemen, in LEC versus a game 3.
The EU Lucian lose record will maintain.
That's 12. Back to back to back, and so on.
But it was not his fault, okay? It was not Noah's fault. I mean, that was the macro of Giant X that bit them. But I think Trayson on the Gnar had such a stellar performance.
We waited
really good in the 1v1.
The entire
we waited the
duration.
entire game.
We waited 37 minutes for that Gnar ult, but it was worth the wait.
It was worth the wait.
All right, well, we're going to game 3. Heretics bounced back beautifully, and those Barons will definitely be under review by the Giants coaching staff. Let's go see what the analyst desk has to say about said Barons.
It was the runes, yeah.
Maybe a little crash out, perhaps, from Odo? Or what's going on? What do you think, buddy?
I am saying that Aatrox is so piece useless.
Okay, can we just roll literally every single replay that we have? Just go through them, because we went on a trip here. So like, so first off, GX, like, come on, buddy. Just, you know, you have 5 people alive. You're like 10k gold up or however you want. Just get them in, get them out. You see they have double smite. Sure. This gets stolen, right? It just stalls the game. It's not the end of the world. You're still 5 or 6k gold up. It's still fine. You still have plenty of opportunities to win the game.
This way you died now.
He's
trying to... He's picking up Lot, and Lot is not dashing to him. Wait, he wasted like 5 seconds to dash.
They did well in that first game. They're just going out the
What?
window. It's just like, you know, suffering from success. You're winning the game way too hard, and you're like, sure, let's just, you know, do whatever we want because we can.
It gives old season vibes, that's why I like it. It looks so good.
Just my mind, because I'm looking at this, I'm like, surely, you know,
has
you do one
personality.
time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, but how many more tries can you throw? It's insane, that
I feel like Aatrox had 2 good games at the start of the split, and then everyone that tried to pick him were just playing him in really poor draft scenarios, and
because this game was just so free win.
Yeah.
It's just...
yeah.
Technically one game.
That's a good donkey noise.
I mean, sure.
Was it?
Yeah.
GX into their leads.
I know, my brain cells are a bit fried, I'm sorry, but... Yeah.
It's okay, I think we all had that.
But
one.
I'm still a
I think,
hater of the Aatrox pick.
I was thinking back to G2KC yesterday. We also had the Ryze and Nivea matchup, and we kind of, I don't know, you could predict that it would trend maybe to this way if the game went late, but it was just because of GX making those mistakes also.
Well, it's just so there's this thing that happens, you know, when you start winning, you're just sitting there and you finally start relaxing and you're like, yeah, it feels like no matter what we do, we're gonna win. And especially in these games when, you know, the Anivias are coming out, there's always the threat of Rel. This is what happens. You start getting caught off guard, because I was personally caught off guard. I was watching that and I see Anivia level 18 and the wall is half the map. I'm like, all of a sudden this useless Anivia is the most OP champion in the game because it just catches you like that. So this security that you feel like you have by being so far ahead starts creeping up on you, and that's why we saw it yesterday. That's why we're starting to see it now in this game, because I thought that there's just no way they will lose that game.
Okay, I'll watch last game.
Like, oh, in the early game
and
they've been up between
then
dragons,
we are
so
done.
you're just already getting the dragon stacking for Giant X. Now they're starting to be in a position where they've got this massive Lucian that they're able to play around, and he's one-shotting Trace in the top
Then we are
lane at
done,
times.
so...
But all the time, they're just kind of slowly creeping and extending
What
the game
board game
and
did you
getting
play,
to a point
by the
where they
way?
are actually still relevant. And if you can't close the game out quickly, these kind of later scaling compositions are going to have a great time then.
And I am hopeful that after this win, even though it was, you know, it was a scrappy when it felt like, you know, GX pulled defeat from the jaws of victory kind of defeat, you know. I do hope that we see a better version of TH going into game 3, because we saw, you know, glimmers of hope. We saw Trayson, I think he had 2 decent games where, you know, laning phase, he was ahead, he did what he could. I still have criticism for his mid game because I feel like he could do more. Yeah, because when your team is getting stomped that hard, you know, you can't really sit on side that much. No. You need to kind of like give up a bit of your lead, get your team back in the game, stabilize a little bit. And I saw that from him, you know, both of these games. I felt like he was in a decent position, and I want TH to awaken a little bit going into this third game, because I want to see more from them, because it felt like they won this game, but did they really?
Yeah, I mean, yes, they did.
Well, technically, well, actually, yeah, they won that game.
I also think for Sten, like, he was having a rough time, but he did find the angle on the last fight, so that's good.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, he did mess up a lot of the engages, but
Is
I
it
cannot
a
blame him.
bird guessing game?
You have like this sort of show. There it is. But like, he finds this amazing engage out of fog, which is finally... When you finally start winning the game, that's when you have the fog of war at your disposal. But what happened before is that a lot of times when you have this short-range team comp, you're like, hey guys, who can start the fight? Stand, it's on you, you want to start the fight? Oh, well, kind of enemy team combo. They all know that you're the only one who engages, and it becomes so telegraphed and so easy. So finally, they go to a place where they have more threats.
But I think it was on Saren for a huge amount of it with the Anivia walls, because so many of these fights as they started off was, oh, we've suddenly burnt a flash because good Anivia wall means that now, oh, Sten has a target in this fight who doesn't have a flash. Because you even saw it at that last Dragon fight where 3 members moved through Tribal.
Longest wins bang
the
players wins. Well, then I'm not gonna play, that's for sure.
At this stage, it's good play as much as it is from Giant X messing up, that Heretics were able to play through those trends of, hey,
you
we've got
play bird, you are a bird.
Let's actually try and facilitate Tracing, who had this early gold lead. So as much as Giant X could have finished it, I think it's good.
You know what I've decided?
Oh,
you know what I what's the conclusion I've reached? Think.
Is that
Draco's is
I'm gonna play mid laners
the second that champion gets picked, like if
that have the same team fighting win condition as AD carries.
Happy that it's fearless. He doesn't have to see it
like
again.
Lux,
of course not Lucian's fault. I mean, it was the whole team's
like
fault.
Oriana that I play, like Quay and Syndra,
very happy about it. So who takes
like
it? We'll see after the break.
6. Yeah, Asir. I was gonna say Asir, but not right now, because I'm not gonna play him right now. And maybe I will still play the Talia. And then if it's a really fun, cool angle.
Wait, is he switching lanes?
Is he switching lanes, guys? Nice push on mid. Lanes? Dun, dun, dun. Your ad? You're gonna go, but I'll be on resource stream tomorrow. Okay, goodbye, go away. Have a good rest of your day. Tomorrow, maybe I will start stream earlier. Since I'm probably just eating my kimbap tomorrow. And I will eat. So I don't have to when I start streams late, it's because I have to order food and I don't wanna have the stream on for like 40 minutes while I fix that. But yeah, I'll see first. If there's a lot of people at the noodle place, I'll probably not go. Last time I went, I had the most awkward interaction ever. They have like a queue system outside for when it's full. But the queue, like, it's like you have to scan a QR code or something and it doesn't really work that well. I says, I'm alone. I'm only one person. Usually if there's a queue, if you're alone, you can still go in. And so I was like, okay, well, I can see from outside that there are empty seats. So I'm just gonna go in and ask if I can eat there. And so first, I opened the door the wrong way. I'm supposed to pull it, not push. Someone else is like coming from inside. So I anti-opened the door. And that's awkward. And then it's like, well, you have to queue. So, okay, I will go queue. And 2 seconds later, oh well, are you alone? Yeah. Okay, then you don't have to queue. So, yeah, I know. I was just supposed to go in. Yeah. And then I ate. But I think about that. And it makes me not want to go back there if there's a queue. This can be used as your homework, yeah, true. Builder of the games. Heretics are hinting a bit. They had a very one-dimensional draft game 1 and they got a bit twisted. And this game 2, they managed to do a comeback because it's hard to say why. They got picks and they stole Nash and they stole Drake twice.
Step in the bracket, the loser goes home. We're not going to see them until spring. So the pressure certainly on for both teams. GX sent back to the drawing board.
Things I built up so much courage to even go inside, you know.
I'll also say that in terms of expectations, remember that GX kept
and then that happened.
Together. There was the intention and the belief that this roster
yeah, that
develop. So
waiter is not gonna remember me.
Similar position, potentially even worse than where it did last year, would be a huge disappointment for the
But I also don't want to go
organization
there
was
and then have to figure out how this Q thing works when the Q thing doesn't work.
building development period where the roster's still figuring
Because
that
I
stuff
heard the
out. So I have
people
to
that were
imagine for the players,
queuing,
as much as they wanna
because some of
win,
them were not
that same
Korean,
pressure,
they
I feel like
sat
it has to be greater
next to
for the
me
side of GX,
after,
just given
and they
the
were talking to each
expectations
other, and they said,
I think especially when you're
"Oh,
the team
that
that's
Q
supposed
thing
to
was so
win,
weird.
and you
The
know,
website
like,
didn't even
you
work."
have the tools to win in that game too. They had the victory, but they clutched defeat instead. It has to feel really bad, and we also have to question their mental going into this third game. Like, how does it affect them? Were they able to bounce back, recognize just, okay, we made some really silly mistakes, we're the better team, or will this
I don't know, I don't understand the
crumble, or
restaurant,
will they mentally crumble, rather?
how you're supposed to behave at restaurants
It did
here.
feel like their own mistakes that undid
Sometimes
them.
people go in and then they get told where to sit. Sometimes people just go and sit without saying anything. Sometimes you have to wait outside. Sometimes, I don't know.
Previous ban in the first 2 games. Maybe we see it again at the third ban, or perhaps it's open this time around.
Could be an Ambessa first pick if it's
I
open.
say it's
It's
still
shown a
open.
lot of. I think it's been climbing a lot in priority as people have started to figure out that it's both really good in jungle and in top. And just the fact that you can kind of negate Ambessa's biggest weakness in that early laning phase by playing her jungle instead makes it so that you just get access to that really good scaling and really good team fighting later on.
Bait on this first pick, a lot of 80 carries taken away. Perhaps setting up for a safe laning phase, perhaps maybe for a... Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's still open.
Well, you're going to get an Ambessa.
Okay. I mean,
Maybe Azir is the response.
it can be flexed. You can put it in jungle, you can put it top. Oh, you can put it mid. I don't mind. Just put it somewhere.
Just please pick it.
Yeah. The GX response, though, I feel like when you get this deep in the pool for 80 carries, do you think they rise in priority? As in, like, do you think you need to, like, something like Zyra Khan? Would you want to try and get it early? Or
I feel like Kai'Sa now is really on the table, especially since enemy took Ambessa. So it's like you take the Kai'Sa away from the Ambessa, or you just want it for yourself. And since it's been such a standout champion for Noah, I would love to see him pick it up early. But with the Zion, I also think the lack of any sort of Azir prio in this series is definitely quite puzzling, especially since they've been banning Orianna out first. It's like, it would make sense if they want to pick up the Azir here, but it just strikes me that it feels like neither team wants to play a... Ooh, wow, Aphelios.
I think they're trying to read what Ice wants to go for here. They could go for the Kai'Sa. They give an angle, though, for Ice to grab the Aphelios. They don't want to give him the scaling late-game insurance. Maybe, gentlemen, GX are trying to simplify.
Yeah, but the only thing is, like, you're not seeing anything.
I'll see, maybe I'll do it.
Aphelios, and it is going to be the counter pick for Ice, so...
I have to
ideally
pass
into
that
the
area
Aphelios, you want
anyways, so
something
I'll
long
scout
range.
it, and I'll
I
build
would
my
say, like,
confidence.
Caitlyn is banned. Caitlyn is really good. A Jinx is not really a counter, but it's more just like a scaling answer. But I think Estral would make a lot more sense.
Don't
Jinx,
you speak
Thresh,
Lulu now?
wow. I mean, Stan does like
Lulu
the Thresh.
Aphelios.
Doesn't this dissuade the Lulu as well?
Yeah, you can look to like bully the Lulu out with the Thresh, especially with how good gank setup you have. Although Noah and Jun could still play the Lulu here, but I think a more traditional melee support.
Oh, alright, the Seer's still in the game.
Locked in. This is incredible scaling for the side of GX, of course. The Jinx matching that to a certain degree on the other side, as well as
No, they can go
Thresh for that
Lulu, they
kind
can
of additional
go
summoner spell in the
Nautilus,
Portal
they can
Lantern to keep
go...
her safe, a luxury that so far Noah
Even
does not have
Blitzcrank.
for the Aphelios.
I think GX should really consider Ornn.
Yeah.
They
I
won't
mean,
go Blitzcrank.
They do have last pick, so they can wait to see what ends up being locked in top, but, like, I'm going to be blunt. I think that if you're not that good, you need easy engage. And I don't think these teams are very good at playing when low engage comes. Like,
We've seen it.
Basically, so I think that you just, especially in a game 3, when you know that the tournament is on the line, you just lock in some easy engage. I think things like Nautilus is a good option, Leona is a good option, Ornn is a good option. Just stuff that makes it easy for you to start fights, I think is really valuable.
Actually, if GX wins now, my prediction to 1 was right.
As well.
Yeah.
Could be something they go for. It is a bit harder on the execution side, but you know, when
No.
an enemy team locks in something like the
GX
Thresh,
picked Sion into
it's
Jhin.
definitely something that you're looking for, as they actually ban it out.
Jhin was
It's
picked
taking out
before
the Blitzcrank. We'll
Sion
see what Jhin decides
and
to go for now.
before...
The thing with Leona is like, yeah, the ultimate is nice, but the early laning phase is quite difficult. The Braum, I'm not a huge fan of.
If they go Ornn last, I'm fine.
That's true, but the thing with Braum is
before
like, when you're playing a
Bard,
into Jinx, you're outrange, so you really want something that helps you reach the Jinx.
Right.
And Braum doesn't really do that at all. Braum wants a carry that's outranging, so he can just peel back and not really need to get too much into the fray.
No, not into trash.
Lane, as you can quickly proc the
That's
Braum passive.
suicide.
I think going something quite non-committal like the LeBlanc is not bad.
You say non-committal. I feel like that I have a lot of concerns surrounding LeBlanc. Only.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Huh?
Whoa, indeed, a little
Hold on.
Okay. Okay, so we have scaling. Yeah, looking at the bot lane. The rest of the map, fist fight. Yes, okay, I understand now.
I mean, you've got a lot of single target on the side of Heretics. The Poppy gonna round things out.
That is an insane value on the Poppy pick, though.
Yeah, but
you also gave the Braum really good value.
No,
going, like,
it's a chicken.
very deep picks.
Oh, you're gonna pick anti-dive. Joke's on you. Will pick dive.
It's Reem, haha.
I mean, I really thought
I got it before I met her, though.
When they had this Jinx Thresh and more looked to set her up for success. Yeah.
Maybe I'll
the
shower
one
tomorrow.
upside is that you have a
Maybe
lot of
I'll
bursts,
wash my
at least
hair.
to try to get her a reset, but it's very feast or famine this Team Redding's comp, and we saw how that worked out in the first game.
Yeah.
So,
but also GX, we've also seen teams without any reliable engage really
I'm confused. GX has like a full peel back comp.
They've gone Poppy Braum, which, I mean, really good at making it
I
hard
mean,
for you to start fights.
Two of the best abilities in the game League of Legends are Poppy Ult and Braum Shield. In terms of raw gold value,
I guess it's good, actually.
On paper, two of the best abilities in the game. Now, most of the time, they're not that high value. But if you're Unbreakable blocking a Jinx's damage output, if you pop
I was gonna say it's weird, but then I realized Enemy does not have a ranged comp just because of Wings. They just they have a recent comp now. With Nafiri, Ari, Bessa, Wings.
Well, I mean, I have questions.
This draft's look a bit similar to game 1, except
another issue with the bug.
not as one-sided.
Now that Isma loaded him with Conquer, and enemy team is making fun of him, asking if Isma wants to conquer the Rift.
All right, well, we'll keep you up to date as there's no lower third yet, so I don't know what I'm allowed to tell you. But the game's paused and they are making fun of
Another
Isma. They left the part about them making fun of Isma off the board. League officials now reviewing. But I think what we have learned from this particular fiasco is that the Zehen is a flex.
Yeah, I thought they would put the Sahen back. I kind of thought they'd put the Sahen jungle, to be honest, and the Poppy top into the Ambessa. It's usually seen as a good matchup. And I feel like Poppy jungle, for me, has been a bit iffy. It's so low resource, it usually doesn't get that tanky. And I'm a bit worried that
League
Leo
of
will just
Complications indeed.
the Poppy jungle and just develop a big lead for himself and then use that to snowball the game. But Isma is good at being very proactive and making things happen.
C stands for a lot of different words, like cultist,
Okay.
like cucumber, and cumbered. No, it does not be.
Like, if it
No, you're talking in the context of comps, because we need to talk about hands and decision making right now. Because let's be honest, that's your job. That's our job. We gotta figure that out, man. We gotta figure that out on the fly. We gotta figure out quick. Because right now it doesn't matter if GX is gonna lead. What we know is if they go near the Baron, Heretics is like, ooh, a comeback
All
possibility.
the years seem to have the same base
Knowing
layout.
Yota, he for sure gave them the belt.
Okay.
So
It's sort of always like that. Like KCG1 are still too similar.
He probably got very mad at them, and it's like saying things that I can't say on broadcast.
Right.
To point out that this is like unacceptable, right? You have the game in your hands, and they had last game they had Cassante who can always just flash ult the enemy jungler.
Oh, yeah,
They never did it. But then they had Poppy ult, who can always Poppy ult the enemy jungler out.
So saying in theory they made it easier.
They should have made it easier.
Baron.
Yes.
Stand next to the wall, push
Yeah, here's one. What in your Korean daily life, among the things in your Korean daily life, do you regret? I will write, I regret opening a push door, a pull door as a push door. Someone was on the other side.
In the process of remaking the lobby, remaking Champ Select due to the rune issue. They didn't give it to Noah for the first strike one. They're giving it to Isma.
mean, to be fair, Giant X paused as soon as they got into game this time, while in the last one they paused like 1 minute.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
So speeding through. Now, the question is, I'd assume just Aftershock, or is it going to be Hail of Blades? Is he just going to try to fist fight?
I love that you think he's going Hail of Blades.
So you have to remember that I existed in a brief period of time.
That's a great one.
Where Poppy played Hail Blades as support, and in jungle, sometimes they played Phase Rush.
Maybe he'll play Predator.
No, he can't play. That it doesn't exist.
Yeah, but the
Phase Rush
joke is that back when people play Hail Blades, Predator was thing. You're saying Season 7, huh?
No, what? It's 2 years ago. League officials have confirmed, they need me to read this, have confirmed a bug with the rune selected by a player, as this is not a game of record yet because no one got out of the fountain and they immediately paused. We're going to remake the lobby. Players are in the remade draft now, about 2 minutes to game. There's the official wording.
Okay, so I think he's going to go after. Not Phase Rush. But Phase Rush got nerfed, but only for range, no?
Yeah, only for range.
Yeah, so he's going to go Phase Rush.
It is really satisfying to just E-auto Q someone on Poppy and then just speed off.
That's true. I think that's why he goes it, just for the satisfaction.
Yeah, like Chovy with Protobelt, right?
Yeah, he's going to go Protobelt.
At least I'll be able to fall asleep to the Fnatic game.
Take notes. Why is he taking notes on? He must have amassed so many notes.
He just wants to improve.
Do you remember that song?
Why not lose an LEC through? Make it fair.
Just lives rent free in his head. That's
possible. I don't remember anything about that song except for that because that's the part that's played every time. Like right before we cast, as it comes back from break.
Sitting on an analyst desk, waiting for it to come to new, and that's what you hear. Yeah.
Which, shout out to the branding team. That one stuck. Can I remember any other MSI's branding, including the MSI that are?
Give them all minus 20 LP.
Take notes. Burned into my brain till the end of time.
I do remember.
I'll be on my deathbed saying to my children, take notes.
I do remember an Alistair breaking through a wall in the final, like a big Alistair.
Was there like a Defy?
Defy, that was one. I got that written on a hoodie somewhere.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
They're going to be very simple instructions. That's the stand, defy,
take notes,
reach.
Well, as we head into game here, it's do or die.
Yeah, the draft
for both of these teams.
Do or die.
We've gone through all the picks are exactly the same. Remember, the conversation might not make it seem like it's high stakes, but it is high stakes. It's a game 3, elimination on the line, advancement as well. A bit of a zero-sum game here in terms of happiness today.
I think both teams would be really disappointed with this placing. Team Heretics, they opted to go for a rebuild after last year where they kept building throughout the year and kept progressing. They still wanted to opt for something new, and if they then failed to make a real impact in playoffs, it would feel really bad for them. On the other hand though, you could argue Team Heretics, they weren't expected, some didn't even expect them to make it to playoffs, so even making it here is a step up for them, and they still have the whole year to develop. But it's an argument we heard all of last year, and it feels dated at this point, while Giant X, the Scrim Gods, the ones that have always had more potential than what they've shown. After that game 2, they really have to be kicking themselves and looking to turn it up a notch in this game and maybe read some of those notes they've been taking throughout the games.
200 games in the LEC for Noah. Shout out to Noah. Obviously, bot lane naturally going to be a point of focus.
He's also just become a bit of a mainstay here in EU as well. He had a good run on Fnatic. Finding a home now in GX. And confidence from Artemis that the GX draft is better.
Thank you, Artemis.
Theory and Ari, someone's excited about that.
This one guy is typing a lot, and we're just all... We just read 3 of that person's comments.
Really?
Yeah. They're very excited. And to be fair, it will be... I mean, in terms of drafts overall, pretty exciting games. Again, we're in a situation where GX don't have the best tools to start fights, which is a bit concerning, given that we've seen a lot as a Hen games where he like ulties in, pushes 2 abilities, and then people just walk away from him and he can't do anything anymore.
Yeah, I want to talk about bot lane though. So for me,
I'll say GX draft looks a bit superior.
For a while, it was a Fearless Jinx all the time, every game. But now we haven't seen it for quite some while, but the interactions haven't changed so much. It's usually Jinx.
Only Jinx is a problem, but Jinx
Helios
can't
has quite a bit better fighting power.
get resets on
the
her
fact
own.
that he has the healing from the red gun, and he can easily proc PTA with a host of his abilities, while Jinx is stronger in the all-ins, Aphelios is really good in the short trades where you can just proc the PTA and then look to back up and then sustain with that red gun. And that's what this Giant X bot lane will look to do, as Ice will look to push them in. And Noah and Jun, especially once they get that blue and purple, that's when this bot lane has some real kill threat and they can look to fight them.
Burning through their ammo pretty quickly, perhaps anticipating an appearance from Isma here on the bottom side. He's continuing to take notes. Sheo matching the clear speed, actually a little bit ahead overall.
Also, both ADCs decided to go for cleanse this game.
Oh my gosh. So Saren
really
is not missing
trades.
charms.
Like, this is,
That's two back-to-back.
Love to see an Ahri hitting charms.
Maybe this is why we didn't see.
Not if they kite him correctly.
Maybe. Nice trade there by Lot.
Thing is, I don't really see Heretics one-shotting any of GX carries.
So when Amphester's like dashing in and being like, "Kacha," then it's like, well, you just made my life a lot easier as the Zen, and it becomes much easier to trade back. So Lot actually.
Legacy has self-peel, Philios has self-peel, and then they have a Poppy and a Braum.
Very high cooldowns early on. I mean, the same can be said for Lot as well, but just your kit in the early levels, if you can actually get those trades, can go very, very well, as you can already see in the HP bars.
And if they're just trading autos, he's got more or less Darius passive in terms of the AD steroid there. So you don't win the extended fight.
Yeah, you always underappreciate how much value that early AD can give you. Definitely strong.
But you highlighted it this early on. 200 gold advantage feels good. Go back, get a longsword and a cold means that gold advantage is only going to grow. And well, the trades aren't getting any easier for Trayson, so have to hope that for Sheo in the jungle, who really got the luxury of flex here, bringing out this Nefiri, that he's going to have some better results.
Yeah, Lot decides to just shove in the wave and force Trayson to TP back. Has been able to pick up a bit of a CS lead for himself. It's a bit clickbait right now because Trayson is going to catch a huge wave here. But still, I think it's a pretty decent lead that he's built up here. Yeah, around 10 CS.
It's about 2 waves, yeah.
Pretty good.
The reason why I was surprised is because he basically had a slow push going towards him, but I guess he saw an opportunity to get a cheetah recall off, which is what he's going to take advantage of now. Comes back with a ruby crystal as well. So now the itemization between the two top laners is even. Similar in the middle lane, but Amptone versus Dagger, I can tell you right now, Ahri's going to be much happier about that. Continues to put that pressure down. Credit to Saren. Often Ahris can just get bullied out of the Azir matchup because they can just play leveraging the minions and outrange the Ahri. But if you play as aggressively as Saren is, then you can actually get Prio in that lane, and he's doing a great job. Both junglers now making their presence known. I say that, looks like he's immediately going to go back to base. So
he wanted to just put a pink on the dragon to make sure that Isma can't sneak it away. And it's pretty good vision in general for Team Heretics in this river. They have a pink set up for Saren and now on the Drake as well. As Giant X are looking to crash this wave and get Noah and Jun their first reset. I am praying. I'm on my knees right now, Noah. I better see a BF sword. If I see Serrated Dirk and he goes Collector this game, I'm going to be really, really sad. Because Stormracer is way, way better when you get the BF sword, but we maybe have a gank on
the BF sword. Saren push back, but he can't get out of that. He has to flash away. Forced to use the blink instead. The charm this time going wide. A bit of a disaster. Loses the flash.
I immediately thought of an infomercial. You've seen Na and Nivea, but now bringing to you the new Azir Poppy.
I mean, it was a really good combo by Isma and Jackies, but they just don't have the damage early game to actually take him down. And Team Heretics are going to look to try to get Ray.
Ooh, nice sidestep. This is going slow, 50% HP.
Isma has flash. Saren has no ulti. There's a lantern there. Now Jackies is finally moving. Exhaust down onto Sheo, looking to steal it. He will secure the Drake, but it's going to cost him his life. First blood to the side of GX in exchange for the Drake, and now we have an all-in on the top side as Lot. Runs out of mana, but gets the wave in, I guess.
Worth? Question mark? I mean, an early Drake, it's a Mountain Dragon as well, which is pretty nice into this GX comp, but it's a 1,000 gold lead now for Giant X and 400 gold with that first blood being picked up for Noah. Really allowing
what does it look like?
With a much better item lead as well than Ice, who's just sitting on the Rectrix and the Dagger and Boots. He decided to go for the Kraken Slayer build instead of the Yuntal.
I think it's going to be awkward in these early fights because the utility that Aphelios brings to the table is more valuable, even if Jinx's damage output, you know, when you get the resets, is always present, whereas Aphelios, you know, needs the right guns, the right circumstances. But it's tricky when Noah's built up a lead like this, that much quicker to the first item. A lane that you talked about being not super great for the Braum where he's outranged, so then it looks a lot more comfortable.
Isn't it like aloe vera? Almost.
Back when we saw this matchup in the past, Jinx versus Aphelios, often it could be game deciding when you gave one of these two hyper carries an advantage just because of how impactful they could be in the game. And when we talk about two compositions who don't have the easiest engage tools, hyper carries have even more impact because their ability to free hit, their ability to do damage, and Jinx's range in particular is something we'll be keeping our eyes on as the game progresses. So getting Aphelios ahead, definitely a nice advantage for GX to find themselves with. The grub spawning in 10 seconds. Neither jungler in that half of the map, so I don't expect that to be a quick objective that they start. Saren with a nice bit of a freeze in mid lane. Means that he'll look to try and gain an advantage there.
I want to pick up on what you said, Betty. I think both ADCs are really important. That there's two arguments, one in favor and one against. One is that he's playing against the Ahri, Nathiri, and Bessa with so much mobility and so much threat on him. It can be quite hard to assert yourself as an ADC, especially an immobile one, such as Aphelios. The thing that he has going for him, though, is Noah has Jun and Isma, who can both peel for him extremely well. So what he really needs is someone like Sheo in the Drake fight, someone that gets stuck or can't really threat against him, so that his disengage can do all the work, and then he just gets the free hit, in which case he can just one-shot them, but Team Heretics are looking for a bot play.
Oh, that's ulti in, extra healing coming in from Noah as they try to ult. Sidestep manages to knock him on to Stead. Retreat now coming in from the Unbreakable. Gank going awry. Isma on the way down, they'll at least be able to grab one plate, but now Team Heretics on the retreat. They get every single summoner and ulti from the GX bot lane, but the kills aren't there yet. Jackie blocking up 3. Noah still not in range to auto attack.
Actually, doesn't matter.
The wall broken. Noah's health bar blinking. Flash in from Isma. Knock up there. He grabs the kill. GX in the extended fight taking one.
I was wondering if nothing was gonna happen from this.
Key ultimates not quite connecting the way that either side would have liked them to. But
yeah, I don't wanna blame the caster much, but there's a lot of random yapping at times.
The initial dive doesn't quite go super well. Jackie's connects onto 2, but the follow-up isn't really there. They just walk out of that situation thanks to the heal. The hook not connecting, the charm does, forcing Noah back, but then Isma in the clutch finds that small window, punishes Saren, and at the very least gets GX another kill.
It felt really awkward, the initial engage, but I'm glad that Isma was not deterred.
Getting poppy slammed, Craig. I wish that was me for real.
You might feel like, oh, this fight doesn't feel right, it's not going to be good. But Isma still saw the angle, he's able to pick up
Norway has Sweden a beef. I think all Nordic countries have some sort of beef.
As they enter into the second Drake spawning in 1 minute, Isma got 2.
You gotta be superior, the superior Nordic.
So the last drop is not really of too much importance for either team.
Deo clearing out on the top side. You mentioned the grubs already, so not going to be too concerned as Lock continuing to trade aggressively, but Sheo covering to make sure. And again, yeah, in the short trades, Trayson
hits strong word.
Still waiting for Lot to finish stacking that coal, get that Trinity Force before he can maybe match up a little bit better.
And this was the Ambessa that Giant X banned out.
And Norway is literally so irrelevant. No one cares about Norway. Let's be real. They only exist so we can get some good salmon.
You got the level 9, so you have the Q maxed up, and you have that Eclipse as well to give you the shielding and sustain in those trades.
True. Everyone hates us because they ain't us.
soloq TP out from Jun. Dropping a bit of vision, trying to proactively get some control around this objective stand there, though, immediately to clear it. Now, bot lane is going to be pushed in favor of Team Heretics as Ice is first to the wave. Jackie's will be first to move, but no great push advantage as Isma's trying to find a creative angle. Unfortunately, that creative angle thus far has involved tanking the tower, and Ice is now going to start trying to walk him down. Heroic charge to a minion.
Isma chunked down to half now for the Drake spawn. He does have the red buff to heal himself up slowly, but that does mean that Team Heretics can take control of the river here, and Isma's forced to base. And that might just be Drake for Team Heretics here. Giants are trying to deny some minions at least in this bot side.
That's a fast push coming through from Noah, and Azir is on the way as well. Saren gets the move first though. It's way too difficult for Noah to quite approach.
They don't have info either on where Saren is. They have to be so respectful of a potential ulti charm or flash charm. Noah and Jun still going to try and contest. Root down onto Ice is there. Noah now looking to follow. Hook connects onto Jun, brings him into the traps, but the Drake's already gone.
I think Isma needed to cancel his recall if they were to actually contest those Drakes, but since he was chunked off the initial engage, he ends up taking the base, and that's now 2 dragons going over for the side of Team Heretics, and a feeling like a deja vu, gentlemen, of game number 2
Everyone
here.
likes
As it's Giant X with the gold lead, but Team Redix pick up the first 2 dragons.
Nice sidestep there from Lot. Blocking a decent amount of damage. Noah and Jun want to keep the pressure up in the bottom lane while the reset's looking to come through from Ice. We'll finally get that off, and there's that Kraken Slayer completed. So both AD carries now at their first item, but Noah is just melting these waves, getting what advantages he can. Home guards and their helpers.
Dash in, Charm immediately there. Sheo going to follow with an ulti of his own. The first dagger going to go a little bit awry, and Jack is able to dash out to safety, just barely.
Jack is suspiciously.
And again, it's a really nice roll.
Okay.
Thought he would recall under the tower, but Jackie's held it a little bit. It's a really nice play by Saren, but neither of these mid jungles have enough damage to actually convert this into kills. As Jackie's is able to not even expend his flash, he didn't even have it up. He just ulted and dashed out.
Grayson. Knocked there from Lot, so the fight.
You can see the trades. I've really shifted into Trayson's favor now with that Eclipse.
I mean, Lot's got the money, but he just hasn't spent it yet. He's trying to recall. Sheo's on the top side. He hasn't been allowed to recall yet. Trayson just determined to try and stop him. Maybe too determined. Is Lot going to ulti?
I think things will get better.
Jack is it's alright.
It should give him a lot more power in the trades, at the very least. But
it's alright.
And it's weird because it's a 2.4k just about lead for GX. They're ahead in every single roll. But I feel like the 2 Drakes are worth more, based on what we've seen so far in this series. Because these fights don't feel handily in their favor. We talked about it before. There's not a lot of good, reliable engage tools, which is further made problematic by the fact that there's a Thresh who can just lance them out on this one time that you do get something.
And Dragons, I can illuminate your thought process. Okay?
I'm writing down answers to my homework.
To win in competitive, usually. It's either Dragons or Baron Nashors. And we have seen that Giant X do not win around Baron Nashors.
Fair.
So they need those Drakes, and they need to convert this gold lead into Drakes, or we're going to have a repeat of Game 2.
I mean, Game 1...
Gold is dropping in value by Drakes.
Yeah.
Game 1,
Inflation is
GX did cleanly close out that game.
It's not hooked. That is true.
But they did get sold.
Oh, they did, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is that. Yeah, no, I can see that now. Yeah, he does have me there.
Betty. Oh, Jun. Nice.
I guess looks like Heretics are...
Needs to be careful as the dogs are sent out.
When they make plays, they don't really have the damage to pull it off, and then they get punished.
What? There's a dog.
Yeah, but they're freely roaming. They weren't let free. They're already...
I mean, they were let free in draft.
Maybe this game will go more in their direction when
most coaches
they reach 2 items on their champions.
They do not allow their junglers to play this champion.
Alright.
Meanwhile, on the top lane,
I feel like with 1 item, they should have way better.
They're literally just farming.
To win fights now.
To top lane when he's losing trades. Is Trayson just gonna all in here?
Oh, he just used his E. Is this a go angle? Oh, that's a go angle.
Not a whole lot of damage with that latest steel caps on Lot.
Okay, not
we
fighting.
Resume to farming.
Honestly, comfort zone for us as casters. We love it when people just farm.
Yeah, we don't talk ourselves into a corner at all.
No, never been a problem. Speaking of, what's this? What do we got over here? What do we got over here? A tense game. And I think for GX, again, we talked about the pressure being on them, and part of the reason is they're the 5th place team. And they would really love to break that moniker. And it used to be worse, and they've been in the opt and up, but it was last year with this exact same roster. 5th.
You're good at math, thank you. Or,
and this is what I was talking about
I mean,
I was saying how
nice.
if normally they win this match,
yeah, you can help me. What is, let's see.
Hang on a minute, that's a ghost ball.
Is looking to get things off. Double knockup coming in. Noah doesn't get in range to auto attack.
But it's that lack of engage from Giant X comp. I mean,
what is something that with time passing has remained a shame.
Like a broken record.
An event that was a shame, or like a bummer.
I'm gonna expand my vocabulary. Let's see if they can get creative with their approach to creating conflict.
Wow. You're on your own good luck.
The crowd demands bloodshed.
When I missed that cannon minion for the 200th time.
I'm just saying, if we had an Emperor or Empress,
well, now hang on a minute.
Hold on! The Astro Boys are going to get in jail, and initial knockup is there. The fallout damage isn't quite. Lots debating if he can go.
Okay, I'll give you
He
something
goes away.
easier.
Okay, well you might not get the blood of the dog, but you might get the blood of the Drake in this case.
A
The Drake does
past
connect on the Isma. The
event
blast to the
that
side. It's getting lower.
left
They're
an
not gonna be able to
impact
steal that one,
on
but
you.
debating if they want the fight. Drake to the side of GX.
Giant X finally able to pick up a Drake there is crucial for them. Shell forced to flash out. They didn't quite have the damage to take him down, and it's a bit of a standstill as neither team have too much initiation.
But shout out to the crowd. They just willed that into existence.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, good job, team. Good job.
On the stream.
Right
Okay.
there
I can't write that about myself.
Holding the thumb out, you know.
Yeah. We're gonna have
apparently in movies that's a misconception as well.
that they didn't do that.
Apparently thumb down did not actually mean execute. That's not what that meant. I don't remember what it meant. I just know that that doesn't actually mean that.
It doesn't help us very much. Okay,
No,
so
it doesn't.
what we know is wrong, and what we know is that we don't know. Great.
Yes,
okay.
excellent. Glad I could help.
Team Heretics. Now that they've lost to Drake, they're getting gold. Which again, we've
Ooh, I
highlighted
think
isn't good.
Jackie's actually won that race.
Yeah, Jackie's got the top tower first, and Giant X are going to get the Herald. So I think Team Heretics, they are getting gold,
Heretics have
Giant X
2
is
Drakes
getting more
somehow.
of it as they continue to build their
They
gold
can
lead
use
now.
that.
Noah walking up.
Swing con.
The chakram.
Because right now it just looks like they're slowly
Gonna
losing.
get that big raptor.
And I have to call myself out. I said in Champ Select that I was worried that Sheo would just outfarm Isma. That has not happened. Isma is 3 camps up.
Yeah,
on Sheo
paragraph
and has been
jump
matching
scare.
him at every stage of the game. And now I'm just
Found
wondering
the
why
best
my
mod
Poppy
ever.
jungles always have no farm.
Screenshot it. He plays solo queue. You can link it to them.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to be another tower secured by
Always
bots.
denying the minions.
Yeah, he's being as efficient as possible. Okay, not quite as efficient
Okay,
as possible,
I'm
but close
gonna be
enough.
honest. The Coliseum is supposed to subdue the masses. It's supposed to quell their lust for blood, but they're cheering for towers. Guys, we're gonna need a fight soon, or they're gonna lose.
Don't worry, the pink ward cheers
Then it'll
will be back
no,
soon.
no,
Yes,
they're gonna be cheering for the wards. We'll
will.
descend into true madness.
Do you know, I saw a comment the other day where someone said, "What's a pink ward?" And I was like, "Oh,
stop!
Yeah, stop! Yeah, bro. Please stop. You know, right? You know what a pink ward?
I know what a pink ward is.
Okay,
When I was playing with Forsen, Drifted told him to buy a pink ward, and he said, "What's that?" So, but he also said this is the first time he's ever bought it when we told him it was a control
Death
one.
Rush.
So.
Death Rush. They're trying to appease the Fnatic fans with a Death Rush. It's a very clever tactic. Sadly,
I feel like they could have still pulled that off in top lane if they were a little bit more patient, maybe.
classic League of Legends. Herald charge.
I don't know if it would have been worth it though.
Tower still alive though. A stiff breeze could take it down. Lot. Was not confident in his movement. Ulted out preemptively.
That tower is a yeah. All right. No. Oh.
2 HP. One. Oh, it's actually correct.
Okay, to be fair, absolutely.
You know that the audience is bored when they start cheering.
Is in danger.
Nothing.
Can go intangible for a brief moment, but yeah,
This Nafiri has not looked very useful, I'm gonna admit that.
Dare gets sent home with the tail between his legs. A 0-2-0 scoreline, not having the impact that he'd love to be having. As GX just slowly gain control.
Baron Nashor is up, but due to the fact that they killed Sheo on bot lane, they might not have time. They're actually going to look to full send it. They're TPing Lot in. They're going to look to start the Baron Nashor and hope for no repeat of game number 2.
There's no jungler this time. And there's no summoner
Here
spellbook.
we go, gentlemen.
We've taken all the notes we can take.
We enter once again. There's no smite. This should be uncontested. They're not going to try.
They're not contesting.
All right, credit to GX. Find the pick on Sheo on side lane. The Nefiri pick just has not been working out.
Yeah,
thus
let's
far.
just leave
There you go.
Bangle.
Major objective to GX.
I still think next series is more interesting than this one. Like, at least we get to see if Fnatic lose.
The carries of Giant X are just so much stronger. They're really
We
going
can
to
hate watch.
Maybe even try to
It sucks because I don't dislike any of the players in Fnatic. It's kinda bad for them. But, you know, I gotta be on the hate train a little.
Making sure that they're in good position for this.
Gotta be on the Fnatic org hate train.
5 seconds.
I mean, it's major pressure now for Heretics with elimination on the line. Ooh, Isma though reads the play. Won't fall prey to the trappers. Vision being set up by GX. Denial, pressure, bot and mids. Take control of the enemy jungle and just suffocate Heretics out at this part of the map.
so much of what we talked about in terms of this composition's weaknesses, the lack of engage, goes out the window if you're the team with guaranteed first setup on the objective. It's Team Heretics who have to fight.
Back to set som Fnatic. Just end this game already, and Heretics suffering.
The minions and the blue AoE just killed Sten. And now 4 versus 5. The inhibitors
they're not going to waste any time. They're just going to go.
Forced to dash away. GX just marching down the bot lane. Undeterred. The counterpunch coming in from the side of GX is 2 members of the mid lane trying desperately to kill Lot unsuccessfully. And Trayson continuing to split push.
Exactly. The cross-map from Trayson, he's doing what he can to get something back for his team.
They're completely like giga outscaled, so even if they throw, they're gonna win this
serious
game.
work on the bot side of the map. Huge advantage gain for GX. Slow, calm, calculated.
Does anyone like it? Oh yeah, true, they've upset.
This game already feels done and dusted.
The silver lining for Team Heretics is this is only second dragon for Giant X. No
I don't have anything against Vladi.
Losing that inhibitor.
He's a young player, he hasn't really done anything bad, except being addicted to gambling.
Didn't say it was like a gold lining or a challenger lining. He said it was a silver lining, brother.
Maybe it's a bronze lining.
The bronze lining.
Yeah.
I hope he bounces back.
What is the lowest value metal?
Well, in League, it's iron, but I don't know if that's...
You asked a very pointed question to two very uneducated
The problem is, I don't know why I said that.
Like, I don't understand all the Vladi hates.
Sure, yeah.
A lot of his haters are KC fans too. But it's not like he wanted to leave KC.
This is really tough. This is like we started this. Someone out there knows the answer. We can ask them. One of those people is Medic, but he's not here.
Well, also, you know, speaking of metals, I always thought when people say like, this has a metal in it, this has iron, like that you didn't eat the same thing that the metal is made of, but it's the same thing.
It's iron, yeah.
That's
It
crazy.
says some, oh yeah, in like Twitch chats or something.
Well, thanks for that really fun fact.
Yeah.
In any case,
That's true, I forgot about that.
let's bring our attention back as GX have just picked up one more tower in top lane. They're going to try and make it a second one in mids.
Pulled back, really not doing too hot in these isolated trades.
They kind of proved his points when they started a war on him though.
Only onto Jun. Noah wants one more auto. This time it'll kill the tower.
Yeah, I mean, this is just some clean league overall from GX. They've taken...
Noah has ulti. They have to be careful about grouping here.
They've got constant pressure coming in through bot. I don't think they need to leave. They can just keep...
But it's always going to be like that if you have large enough fan base.
Time to go. GX on the retreat. Trayson coming around the corner.
Heretics don't want them to leave.
Ulti coming in from Isma. He's going to knock the Arya out of the fight entirely, and now Jun is body blocking all of their damage. No,
Heretics are going to win this.
Ice off to the side, but so far a good retreat from Team Heretics.
I mean, they have a good
returning to the fight. Charm
position.
Jun should deny the unbreakable, but no, up just in time to stop the Jinx rocket.
Oh,
Looking a little bit frustrated on that one. Trayson not able to find access into the back line. It's all falling apart. Isma
Filios. Okay, GG.
All of Team Heretics
GG.
getting sent packing back to their base as they lose 2.
Oh my god, Noah with the 200 years. He finds a 4-man blue ult, flashes in and does so much damage. It's not actually going to be the end of the game for Team Heretics, and it's not any objective at all, but that was damn cool.
You can see the desperation from Heretics as they tried so hard to get something back. This was the best case scenario for them. A low health members, GX, slowly getting chipped away at. But then Shale really forces the issues, committing onto Noah by himself. Heretics now in a bit of an awkward spot as the ulti comes through, but they get that initial pick. But then grouped up in that choke point, Noah connects his ulti onto 4. Heretics is forced to retreat. And GX walk away with 2 kills.
I think what we can say after that team fight is that Aphelios should be buffed, because that should have been a quarter kill in my eyes.
He had 2.5 items.
Yeah, that should have been a quarter kill. So, now going into the final team fight of the game, Baron Nashor spawning in 50 seconds. 7,000 gold lead for Giant X. You'd love to see Noah pick up the LDR here, which he does. And if he had the LDR in that fight, that would have been made enemy Nexus go boom. So, he'll be looking to recreate that play. The only, well, the silver lining this time, Betty, is Noah has no flash.
True, he does.
Ice
not
also
have
has no flash. Saren has flash. He can maybe make the play.
Yeah, flash charm. Does have cleanse though, and Mikhail's, and a Braum shield, and a Poppy.
Okay. All right. So we're just listing things. Noah is crazy. Agreed. 90% copper, 10% tin. Ah.
There you go.
Yeah, Gentex. Yeah, go, go. Noah, go.
Insta-start. Noah and Isma should be able to melt through this one. And Sheo get in range to steal it. The Poppy ultimate, of course, will be used to try and disengage. There it is.
Up onto Sheo. 7k on the objective, getting lower and lower. Isma doesn't find a way to knock him out of the pit, but the Baron just taken down. Green and white making this look so good. If he can keep the chakram stacked, that's going to be painful. That auto's going to do so much work. Noah following up, fully stacked. Now the entire team on the chase. The Q going a little bit wide from Chun. Saren's ulti popped, but now that they're wearing purple, this should just be the final moments.
When you're the ones getting engaged on, as the engaged home, you know you're cooked.
28 minutes in, 8 kills to 1. Heretics really haven't been able to get a foot in this game at all, whereas GX have been dominant from start to finish.
Saren does have the flash, but it's a 3 versus 5. Noah is so damn strong. And Giant X, it was tense. Game 2 was messy. But it looks like they're going to be able to take it home.
GG.
They're rushing down this base.
Game 3 from start to finish. Yes, they gave up Drakes. Yes, it was close for a while, but they built those gold leads in the lane and they just continued to grow them fight after fight. Team Heretics unable to find a way to end this, and we've got a bit more time on our hands.
Guess they don't want to run the risk of overstaying. They don't want to throw this one away.
I don't know.
This won't be Soul, of course. It will put them on Soul point.
It makes you stronger, and your minions are tanky, and you base fast.
We'll look back at this Baron and the engage from Jackies.
I mean, you can see how fast they take the
and it's no specifics.
And then Jackie's here finding this EQ into the flash, getting the 3-man ultimate. Really, really nice engage for Jackies. He's sown as well.
Doesn't change how I would play.
Team Heretics carries can't take him down.
Stage not fast. Oh my god, Jackie, I like it. You're sexy.
Your damage is not increased enough that you feel it. So no.
I would have said good at League of Legends, but whatever does it for you, you know?
Very nice play indeed with the Baron buff.
You can be honest, Dracos, about what you say.
There are no inhibitors on the side of Heretics. They're going to have to find a miracle fight in order to keep any semblance of a chance left in this game.
3.5 items on ice. Ulti whipping for Trace and a start to what should be the end. Free-man knockup coming in from Jackie's follow-up is
just end their suffering already.
Getting burned down. Noah and Jackie's completely untouched. And Ulti, a couple hundred more years to follow through. As Saren brings it back into his team. The Ulti
I really don't understand giving a seer to build an engage comp when the primary engage junglers to make that comp work are not available anymore. And enemy team is able to draft a full disengage comp to counter you.
And a stellar performance from Noah on the Aphelios. The willingness, flash forward, and make the
Game 1 and Game 3 looked exactly the same.
I mean, the dragon stacking from Heretics gave me
and you could tell from drafts.
Hope that they would be able to bring more of a fight, but it felt like once GX got a leaves, it felt impossible for Heretics to play. You can, of course, vote your player of the series.
Okay, at least Game 3.
Your options. And yeah, GX.
It looked more playable.
They certainly bounced back. They had a very clean game.
For Heretics.
Yoto's words around their performance around
but
the
they still had the same problem as Game 1. So,
very clean performances in that final game.
Yeah, they were able to win without getting Soul. Always a tough challenge.
If my coach or something did that to me on stage of the game, I would
and it was,
be so uncomfortable.
For some, a success. For some, a disappointment. They made it into the playoffs.
But maybe they're into that. Maybe they feel good.
Did not have the performance they would have hoped in the playoff bracket.
One final bow until we see them in spring. Hearts out to the Heretics lineup. Their fans as well. Hopefully it just means
time to punish myself, huh? Oh. What did he do? Oh, he was like massaging his shoulders and had his face very near him.
Thank you.
They've been doing it all game, Noah. Could you hear it at all? Could you see it or not?
What?
Could you see it or could you hear it in game at all? Because they have been cheering all
game.
It's really amazing.
It was the combination of the two.
I think the big question is,
I can't help but
I mean,
imagine if it was me there, you know.
We had some issue while game because it was an easy game, but we were arguing during game, you know. So
That's what I said.
I wouldn't want a girl to do that to me either. That's not my point.
Easy, that's you're like, we can do anything we want and we will still win.
We had a different opinion, like.
I'm watching Fnatic. Okay, fair.
Want to entertain the fans. Tell me then about coming into this third game, because
yeah, finally one of my predictions were correct.
After that second one, but what was the approach like?
Can you say again?
Can you tell me about your momentum going into game 3? Because I thought maybe you would be a little tilted.
I mean, honestly, after game 2, like I was a bit tilted because it was really easy, but I was trying to fix my mental when game goes wrong, you know. So I was trying to focus again. So I think it worked this time. So I'm happy.
Okay. Any questions for Noah?
Yeah, I think it's just how are you guys feeling?
I can't decide if I want to coach the next game or not.
Really good performance this game. After a tough game against KC, how do you feel?
Noah is such a stereotyped AD carry, man.
From like 4-week regular season, me like personally, I had a really big problem playing game because I was playing bad. But I was trying
good AD carries
come back like when I'm playing.
Talk the same way.
Like these days, like 3 days ago, 4 days ago. Finally, I got.
And they also play the same champions.
Really confidence now, so yeah. Now I think we can win anyone. You know.
It's the time of GX now because it's all about this, man.
Yeah, you're playing Na'Vi actually tomorrow, so it's very, very fast. What do you think about that opponent?
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
wait, first,
I never lose against Korean.
Who's playing tomorrow? Long esports.
Yeah, I mean, like when it's most important, I never lose Korean, you know, like I saw something or something.
I see.
So
we don't know yet.
Just win. However, not as many pentakills as the other Korean ADCs, though.
Yeah, I'm jealous. But
you are a Kia Player of the Series, Noah. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Well, all the Fnatic fans are here, so the $1 million question is, Fnatic is about to play Vitality.
Now we play against GX. And KC play against winner of Fnatic Vitality. Okay, so I don't actually have to co-stream all of those games either.
I just be honest, okay?
Yeah,
I want
that's pretty shit.
Win, but I think Vitality will win.
Then I'll just do first game of the...
Sorry. It's okay, I think it was a very political answer. I get it. Thank you so much, Noah. Congratulations. Thank you. We'll see you
Then I don't think
in a
I'm
minute.
consuming this one. I'll try to go to sleep earlier, so I can fix my schedule a bit. Would be nice if I could fall asleep at 4 AM all of these days. That way I sleep almost 8 hours this week, and I can also eat lunch at the office. Okay, bye. Bye everyone. Thank you for the day.